Welcome to the Nomad Network, your first stop for complete and comprehensive Chicago Bears football coverage. Dive deep into analyses, updates, and all things Bears. Subscribe to our YouTube channel today and never miss a beat. Thank you in advance for your support. We promise to bring you the best because together we're unstoppable. Go Bears!
Yo, no maniacs. Welcome into another edition of Nomad at Night. We got a special guest again for the second time. We got my boy AK here with us from CNG Podcast. That is Alan Kennedy, man. I love having this guy here on the show, man. It's fun. Kids and trips, we do a certain kind of content, and then we got our own style, our own flavor, and how we do it. It's nice when we throw another little wrinkle into it. Alan is a football guy like me, man. He's into the X's and O's and all the little things, the little nuances that go on in football games, man. And I love having this guy on here, man, because like he said in the backstage, he said, man, this is iron sharpening iron. And I love it. I love that. We all need that every now and again, man. But thank you for being here, Alan. But before we get into this conversation about the Bears, man, I want to thank all you beautiful people for being here and everybody that's in the chat right now. And everybody that's to come, thank you, beautiful folks, for being here on this holiday weekend, man. You could be anywhere else doing any other thing in the world, but you're here kicking it with us tonight. We appreciate you so much. Listen, I named the title of this show, The Talk is Over. All that stuff is over. Now it's time for war. And I mean that with every ounce of my fiber and just everything in me. The football part of me has come out. You know what I mean? It's like I'm serious now. We only 8 days away. And, I spent a good amount of time this week talking about, what Green Bay did getting Micah Parsons. That broke the news cycle, man. And it's still out there. And I got my feelings about it. But that's over with for me. That's over with for me. I ain't worried about what nobody else got. I'm worried about what we got inside the building. And in that locker room, let's go to war with them. Because I think we're sufficient. We're sufficient on both sides of the ball. I think we're sufficient on special teams. And I'm not worried about what nobody else has. Not at this point. I'm ready to go to war. It's time to fight now. So if you're a Bears fan, now's the time to rally the troops. You got your feelings out about Micah Parsons like I did. I got my guy in Canada who, he's going to have a certain thing or two he's going to have to say. And so, but before we get to that, man, let's introduce everybody, man, and get some pleasantries out before we do all that.
Well, Sunday night, welcome to Nomad at Night. One and all, thank you for showing up. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for kicking with us once again. Give a little bit of love to my dudes who are hanging out with me. 8K's rolling with us, a big 8K. We got 3 R's to the bottom left. We've got the Nomad along with yours truly, Kedza Canuck. Check me out at Kedza Canuck on YouTube. Check my guy out on Sports Chicago Style as well. As hopefully you're hanging out with us here at the Nomad Network. All things being said, one of them weeks before the season, I know everybody was on a high after that preseason, and I think we might have got a little bit of a kick in the shins, but I think that might be all that it was. So we'll get into all of that as we round things out here tonight. But let me give everybody a little bit of love. We'll start with the guy who's always here with us. It's Crimson, you dig, with the wrench. Thanks for coming through, Crimson. As per normal, good to have you. Great to have you. Liberty's Outlook is a no maniac. Oh, Liberty's Outlook is a super no maniac. Ron Winarski is a super no maniac. Calvin C's a super no maniac. Big ups to Ralph Love. Guy Walker jumped in today. Good to see you, Guy. The Crooked Commissions out there, man. We're going to chop it up and do some big things real soon, potentially next week. With respect to the Superflex Fantasy Football Show, it's coming live and direct real soon, y'all. Expect some fun and some fantasy football action. NFL chat all around the way. Big ups to my guy Dante Purifies jumping in from Twitter. Good to see you, my dude. Patty Laura's with us. Shout out to Patty. And Junior's usually not too far behind, so I'll give a little bit of love to Junior regardless. Big ups to my guy Don Burr. Psych. No love for Don Burr. You know what it is. Cornelius Squalls, number 2, No Maniac. He's out there with us, hanging out. Good to see you. Good to see Paulo Rodriguez is with us as well as Ralph Love. Hey, man, just want to give a little bit of love to all y'all for coming through, and we'll get it done and really get a bit deeper into what things should look like here a week from now. AK, what do you got to say, Alan?
Well, before you go, Alan, I messed up. I said PNG podcast. That is Alan Kennedy from CNG podcast. My mistake.
Yeah, I should have capitalized.
That's my bad, man. I'm supposed to know that.
No, you good. Yeah, man, I appreciate y'all as always, man. Nomad and kids. This is the first time I'm with Triple B. But I appreciate you guys as always, man. It's a blast talking to y'all and your network, man. It's just I feel at home sometimes, you know what I'm saying, talking to Nomad and the cuts and the glamour and the shoulder pads popping, so I just feel like I'm at home, man. So I appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you, bro.
Where are you from, country?
Oh, you talking to me, bro? Yeah, I'm from North Carolina.
Okay, North Caca, like I can dig it.
Caca-lacca.
And it's triple R, by the way, triple R, not triple B.
Okay.
Beautiful state too, by the way. I've been through
it. It is a lot of greenery, a lot of beautiful barbecue. Y'all like that that vinegar based sauce. I like that too.
Yeah.
Y'all like,
I try to stay away from that pork though.
Oh yeah, unclean animal. That's swine. I feel you, but swine is delicious.
It is
delicious. He said.
I just threw a bunch of that on the grill. I just went over to my sister's house, man. They celebrate the holiday right now, so I went over there this morning, threw a bunch of swine on the grill, bro. Showed her a few little tricks of the grilling trade, man. It was all good, man. Listen to some cookout music and stuff. It was fun, man. But what's going on, Trip?
I'm just chilling, watching the game. I know y'all, the No Maniacs, and by y'all, Don Bar, sit and spin, enjoy it. Hey, girl, how you? And everybody else, big up. Yeah, but the football game that's on Notre Dame, University of Miami, and as I told Nomad that I was Ryan Poles and Ian Cunningham are attending the game. He said more than likely scouting the left tackle there from Miami. And what's his name, Nomad?
I think his name Myalga, I think.
Okay, right on. So yeah, that's what's going on. But as we are starting, for the night, for you early joiners, welcome. And always a shout out to the crew at Sports Chicago Style, Coach Tripping, Chef Trips, and Trip. A big up. And all of the fine, holistic content that we try to provide you, the viewer, the watcher, the participant, whatever category you fall in, welcome one and all. And if you are not a part, Sports Chicago Style. And throughout the night, we will give you the other channels, such as Trip Kundo, such as Chef Trips. And, well, I guess I just did. So, yeah, there you go. So give a subscribe, give a like, give a watch, all that good stuff and fun stuff, and enjoy the content. Yeah, there you go.
Amen to that, man. Everybody, please go out and pour some water on everybody's flower, man. Trips over there on CNG podcast with my guy Alan Kennedy, and of course up there in Canada with my guy the Canuck, man. Go to Kez the Canuck channel. Please flower everybody's garden, man. We all need some growth here, So I want to say this, man. Let's, before I do it, man, how's everybody doing? Kids, how you been, man? How's family? How you doing? Look like you're hungry or something. You're eating. How you doing, man? How's life?
Well, just a little dessert. Had a get Oreos. Had some kids cookies today. You know what I'm saying? So a couple of those. Just came back, played some mini golf today with the homies. I tied for first, so I'll get my golf on, you know what I mean? And what else went down this week? Oh, I had a crazy leg day workout yesterday, and I'm sore as all get out. But that comes with the territory. Had a couple of BCAAs. If y'all know what that is, they good for you. Get the BCAA when you do your workout. It's amino acids. Yo, if I didn't have them BCAAs, I would be cramped up like you wouldn't believe today.
Are you talking about, is that like steroids? Come on now.
I'm not
do steroids, kids. Don't do steroids.
I'm not on steroids, but like maybe
I got to do a PSA, man.
No. This is just vitamins, man. This ain't no
vitamins, quote unquote.
Ain't no anabolics involved, man.
Ain't no such thing as cheating when it comes to health, man. Ain't none of that Ozempic shit going on, man. You got to get it right.
Man, they tried to give me that, and like I've been said, man, my wife did not. She had violent reactions to that, and I was like, I'm not sure I can really even do that, so I'm good. I will just cut the carbs out, do a little different thing, and so far so good. But sometimes you gotta have a cookie. Fuck it. So here, you know what I mean. So here I am, I had a little cookie, and that's my dessert after having a whole bunch of salad and chicken wings. Well, that's what I
like them all. I like them all. Them raisin cookies, man.
I hate raisins. Me and raisins aren't the only like dried thing that I like dried is I like sun dried tomatoes, but you won't catch me with no figs. No raisins, none of that. I'm not
like fig Newtons, bro.
No, sir.
Fig Newtons are yummy, all soft.
Fig Newtons, boy. Oh man, I forgot them existed. What'd you even say that for? That's like one of my favorite things on earth, and I don't even eat sweets.
No, you know what I found as a new substitute for sweets? Red onion. Just red onion. Just slice, raw red onion. Just slice it, into slices, and slice those in half. So you got the, little crescent half moon joints. Grab a little handful and just out the fridge, out of a little Tupperware container. Chop. And they're sweet, they're crunchy, they're juicy, hydrated, because they get water in them. So it's quite a refreshing little snack.
Hey man, you a wild boy, man. I ain't letting that slide. You like my auntie, man. My auntie's really herbaceous, let's just say. Man, she loves greens. She eats greens every day of her life, literally. Mm-hmm. She will make greens every day, and she will peel an onion and bite off of it while she's eating her greens. Bite off it like it's an apple.
Yeah. You see, I used to watch my Uncle Bud do that when I was a shorty, but at the time the onion was like too bitter, or it stung. But that was just a white onion, I think, too, not a sweet onion. And if it wasn't cooked, it was like, nah. But if you look at the different ways to cook onion to its different doneness, it gets sweeter as you cook it when it caramelizes. But that's in there raw in the sweet onion to me now that I know that it's there, and that's just going to be a go-to snack. But I enjoy when you have your pickles, I think I may have mentioned before, you don't throw away that old pickle juice, dill pickles, the hamburger slices, whatever the fuck kind of pickles. You boil that up. And you let it cool, and you throw it in a jar with some hard-boiled eggs and some onions and maybe some beets, and then you let that marinate for like 6-8 days, weeks, and then you have one of those eggs every morning with some toast and a nice, maybe some coffee, after you have a bottle of water, and it's delicious. And you do your own pickling.
I'm gonna say this comment Don just made, because I don't know nothing about it. He done got in the comment section after one of the sports or something. And he was talking about about Ben Johnson's begging Johnny Morton to join the staff here in Chicago, but he turned it down to keep. I don't know nothing about it, Dan. That's some shit going on in Detroit media. So obviously it ain't filtrated over here to us. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
There's a whole lot of, but to close this up, whole lot of different ways to have a snack, and maybe it's like past your evening time for snack. So maybe you don't need no sweets, but find a little something healthy to just put in your mouth, satiate your taste, and we be all right.
Hey, Trips are gonna make sure he gonna have to circle right on back to that damn food, boy. I tell you that much. Get that food out. Get that shit out. All right, man. Hey, so how you been, Alan, man? How's life, man? How you been? How's family?
Hey, everything's good, man. Family's good, man. Appreciate you asking. Just I had to work early today, so I just kind of, just taking it easy today. I wanted to get out there and cut that grass, but I'm gonna do it tomorrow. But that's a whole nother thing. But other than that, man, everything good, man. I'm just sitting here enjoying you guys and enjoying my health guru over there at Triple R. Yeah, I'm digging that. It's like you taking me to the back of the forest with that conversation, but I like that.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take that. That's a good term and not like a no Diddy kind of comment.
No. That's good healthy food. Like I'm growing up in the country, they take you down there to the farms and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't even do that part, but I'm just saying that's good healthy beets and stuff like that, man. So I'm digging that.
Hey, man,
anytime you can try and get something from the earth and it's good for you, like a nice some heads of garlic or cloves and stuff like that, and the onions and potatoes and the beets, anything that, like, Nomad himself has like a neighborhood garden, so he knows about the planting and the harvesting and the getting from the earth and having it sustain you, to whereas you don't have to worry about what somebody else is providing for you and how it's prepared and what's in it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have those issues when you're able to, sustain yourself. And that's something that we encourage. It's not always feasible, for everybody's situation, but we encourage you to strive for that as much as possible, wherever possible.
All right, I know Trips again. Trips is feeling it right now, but we gotta let's go and address this right quick, man. Every goddamn, you can't say nothing no more without saying pause or no Diddy. You can't say nothing. I'm like, I can't keep doing that, man. Every time I'm trying to have a conversation, I got to say pause, no Diddy, man. That ain't. That's messing up my flow, man. I ain't liking it, man. Just saying, but all right. Anyway, man. So today, man, again, I went to my sister's, man. She's a very proud woman. She's an alpha female, like I'm an alpha male, and she don't like to ask for help. And today, this is very, very uncommon for her. She called me and was just like, hey, how are you supposed to do this thing? She asked me about marinade. I told her the tricks and that. That's like a little family secret I got going on. She understands that that's top secret, classified shit. And then she wanted to know she doesn't use wood, basically, for the most part. We're a charcoal family, you know what I mean? Some people, depending on where you are regionally, some people just go with all wood. Some people go with a charcoal wood mix. I showed her how to do it the way I think is best. I think it's best to have both. I showed her how to do the mix, showed her how to, what to do with fresh onions in that mix with the wood and the charcoal, and what to do in sealing that flavor into your meat. So once you got those coals white, throw those chips in there, them little, wood chips or whatever you got in there, throw those onions in there, and that fire is going to immediately open up them onions and that wood chip. So you put that meat on there, you throw that meat on there, and then you close the lid for about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes at least. If the fire will let you anyway, but if you got the grill right, you close that thing for about 10, 15 minutes, and that stuff is going to seal that flavor in that meat for good. Then you open it up, and then you start cooking and, basting and doing all that kind of stuff, rotating and doing all that. But I showed her that, and she was just like over the moon, man. But I'm proud of her for getting to the point where she was able to ask her big brother, like, for some help. She know I do that shit, man. But, she's trying to do it her way, and it, that's just how it is. So I was very proud of her. I went over there, got her grill started, 2 of them, as a matter of fact, got them rolling. It had meat on there, man, but I had to get up out of there so I can come over here and do this. So I was having a good time over there, man. But it's good to be here with you all, man. It's fun. It's fun. I got 2 communities. I got my family, I got y'all, man. So it's great. But
right on.
All right, man, kids. So kids hasn't had a chance to go public with his thoughts, man. You know, I've already exercised that demon. It's over with for me. I'm ready to fight. But Kez has a few thoughts, man. The Canadian is about to, I don't know what he's about to say, but I'm finna turn over the mic to him and let him speak his mind about this whole trade and what he thought about it.
Look, I'm fine with it. You know what? I do have some little things to point at, I suppose, but I'm really glad I didn't jump on with you when you went on, because when you went on, you know, live reaction, I would have lost my stuff. All right? Like, I was not cool with this situation at all when it happened. I'm okay now. I'm fine with it. We're gonna see what the North really looks like now. You know, they lost a big player in this trade. Things to really be noted. I do think they became a better team, but I don't think it's like they're exponentially better. That pass rush will be a real thing, and you know, my little notes, I'll keep them I'll keep them a little bit short and sweet here today. We're gonna start with Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones got the pants fleeced off of him. I'm not sure if anybody's buying the line of Dookie he put out there with respect to having an explanation for this trade. The explanation for this trade is really he screwed up the relationship between him and Micah Parsons and decided that hubris was more important than football. That's basically what happened this past week. He decided that his ego was more important than the Dallas Cowboys. About that simple. Because, right, he went to Micah, he offered Micah something. Micah said, yeah, sure, well, okay, well, maybe. But, like, that must be negotiated through my agent, which is the reason why we have, like, why agents exist. They do these negotiations because maybe Micah might be overlooking something. Maybe there's some, you know, some benefit that was overlooked or not included that should have been included that he doesn't know about. Again, this is why agents exist. And Jerry wasn't having it. Didn't even want to talk to this guy, acting like he doesn't know who he is. Well, he's his effing agent, and you need to go through him to do business. If you're not going to do business with him, doesn't look like you're going to do business at all. Not to mention, that agent is being paid to get a percentage of that contract. So if you're cutting the agent out of the percentage, that alone in itself is a problem. In the end, my guy trades the edge rusher, the 26-year-old edge rusher to the Packers, which definitely is a bit of a problem for the NFC North as a whole. Did he get Kenny Clark? Yeah, Kenny Clark's a good interior talent. He's going to do some good things for them with respect to stopping the run, but at the same time, Jerry Jones looked like the people who lose air in total. Yeah, he was sucking air. He was sucking wind. You're right, King Booker. He was sucking wind.
That's cold-blooded.
It's true, though. It's true. He was just looking for something to say about how they're better because of this trade. You're not. And to make matters worse, they just beat you guys a little while ago. You potentially could be facing them either to get into the playoffs or in the playoffs. So you made an NFC talent stronger. And that's another huge, massive mistake for you. Why not trade him to the AFC where you're never going to see him again? See you later. Nope. Another huge mistake in this respect. Continuing on the mistake train. If this team was in the playoffs very recently, which they were, the odds of you getting a very decent return with respect to the first round picks that they just traded you is slim. If this team was in the playoffs, they're trading you what, the 26th pick in the draft? 2 years in a row-ish? Something like that? Man, that's not a very good return, now is it? Right? Like, I don't know what Jerry was smoking this weekend, but like, can I have some? You know what I mean? Like,
I'll tell you something, man. It gets right back to what Crimson just said earlier. That Micah Parsons said absolutely that he wasn't going to play for this team. And it came down to that. Jerry Jones thinks he's smarter than everybody. He thinks he has more pizzazz and more pull than anybody on the planet. I don't think Jerry thinks there's nobody in the room that can outfox him. I don't think there's nobody in the world he thinks that can outfox him. And he thought the whole time, all I got to do, I don't like this agent. I don't like this agent. And for whatever reason, some people say because he's a black man and he's successful. Some people say that. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. But I know this. When you decide to cut somebody who stands to get millions out of this negotiation, that this man hired to represent him, and you want to leapfrog him and get me in a personal conversation about getting a deal done, you disrespected not only me, now you disrespecting the person I hired, man. So there's two parties that need to be respected here, and there was only one. Jerry Jones went to the primary person, and he tried to cut out somebody's agent, and that ain't cool. I'm pretty sure his agent was just like went right to Micah and was just like, man, it's some bullshit. Stop talking to this motherfucker.
Right.
Stand on your shit and say you ain't gonna play for his ass regardless of what you offering me at this point, because you disrespected me and my agent. That shit was foul.
So let's get deeper into this. Now, again, like a lot of this, my two beasts with this have to do with general managers more than anything. And again, we're sticking with Jerry Jones for now. And if Jerry Jones had made any level of this trade earlier on, like even this season, if he said, you know what, we're going to move on from Micah Parsons in April, May, in and around draft, he could have, and he sent him to the North. He sent him to the Packers. He could have got the Packers' 18th pick, as opposed to potentially a higher caliber pick if they're successful with Micah Parsons. Sorry, I said higher caliber, but a lower draft pick, a lesser draft. He could have done better earlier in the season. He could have got much more earlier in the season before all of these teams had spent capital on free agents, and again moved into the draft and selected their selections. Could have done so much better if Micah Parsons was actually on the chopping block. He wasn't. He screwed up, ruined the relationship, and now he's left holding the bag. So he's got two first rounders coming to him and a player. Hopefully Kenny Clark is the guy that they need. Hopefully he is. But I don't know. I don't see this as being a beneficial thing for the Dallas Cowboys. In any case,
I could care less about the goddamn Dallas Cowboys.
I could normally too, but I'm just saying that this guy screwed up in a major way.
Okay, we got that. Now move on to the beef.
Let's move on to the other side. So the piece that we care about is Ryan Poles, right? Man, Mr. Poles didn't see this one coming, did you? Or you might have fixed that left tackle position once and for all, right? You might have also potentially, I hope to hear at some point through this season, that you were somehow involved in this trade talk. Now let's take a step back to look at the Chase Claypool trade. Remember who was involved in that trade? Any y'all? What team from up north?
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh was the guy we traded with, but the Green Bay Packers were involved in that trade discussion, and it's the reason why we gave up a second round pick for Chase Claypool. Why? Because they didn't want us to just do stuff free or on the cheap. They needed to be in the discussion and push up the ante at the very least.
Well, we weren't in that conversation because Jerry Jones had a specific list of requirements supposedly he wanted to trade to. Now the Bears didn't fit
you
those
believe
requirements.
That,
but now, granted, you want Poles to just say, fuck your requirements, here are all these picks we're in. You don't understand that. But if that's what it says, that's what it says. I got no reason to doubt it. It's like whatever the case may be, the shit didn't happen. And so now is the perfect opportunity to play the clip out like you to play, kids.
All right, I'm gonna play your clip, but I'm also poop on these requirements because
play the clip, kids.
If all right, is this the one?
Play the clip.
Both y'all acting like some motherfucking bitches.
That's what's going down right now, and that's what happened when the trade went down. Bears
I had
fans.
CMC8 there. I didn't even notice, but I should have known.
Yeah, run it again. Run it again. Go ahead, run it again.
No.
Run it again.
Black.
Run it. This is the way the Bears fans was acting when it went down. And that's
You're
all
right.
we was hearing. It's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. They got Micah Parsons. The season is over. What are we ever to do?
I'm not worried. I'm not there.
And it's like, settle down. It's
I'm
like,
not
guess
there.
what? You know what I mean?
There's a lot of football.
Other teams, the Vikings, the Kitties, FGB, them too. But guess what? They get salary caps. They get draft picks. They get a roster. They get to bring in players. And some of those players may be very good. Oh, the fuck well. We got the strap.
Get the hell out of here before I kick your little ass.
It's like, we will be all right. Y'all be all right. Shit. All y'all sounding like some bitches right about now.
Look, I don't know about all that. I do not for a second. Not for a second do I believe that somebody sat in a room and said we need to come up with an idea or a reason why we just dropped this player in the lap of Green Bay who beat us up 2 years running. 2 years running, beat us up personally. Why did we drop him in the NFC? Well, here's why. There's a magic formula that we came up with that gives us shitty draft picks, but it gives us a player. Like we've got a DT. Like they're looking for a single DT. Come on now, you believe that shit? I don't believe that for a second. If he potentially traded with the Bears, just in theory, it's a better draft pick. Just in theory, if you're trading for picks, you're getting a much higher caliber pick, and that's just to make sense of things. That's why Pittsburgh traded Chase Claypool to us instead of Green Bay. They said if you all both offering a 2, well, the Bears 2 is likely not going to be a playoff caliber 2.
One question, we got that. All right, one other question, kids.
Mm-hmm.
How do you pay him almost $200 million?
Oh, let me be real about this, and this is why I'm saying I'm over it.
Okay.
Well, there are cap dynamics that would make this work, and I'm not gonna get into that because I'm not really with it.
Thank you.
But the conversation you needed to be a part of the conversation to up the ante. That's all I'm really trying to say.
Right.
You need to be a part of the conversation to be like.
But now, what if you up the ante and then they be like, all right, call.
And then I'm saying, I'm all right. I'm full of shit. I'm full of sometimes you're full of shit.
Fold.
Sometimes you're full of shit. So you know what? You know what? My auntie called me and I decided to change my mind. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? My mind, I was bullshitting. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say. And now you're real and you got to do what you need to do. But at the very least, be in the conversation.
Sometimes people don't see the cards, kids. Sometimes people don't see the cards. And you agree with that? Sometimes people don't see the cards that are there at the right time.
This is like poker.
You don't see anything, you blind motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? Poker, chess. It's these are the games you should be playing here as a GM. One of the two.
But I'm sure also that conversation had to take place between the front office of the acquiring team and Parsons and his camp, to work out that contract situation. And if that was not a serious ante on the table, they're not even in the conversation.
So Stephen Smith, I don't know. And that's why I started off with hopefully I hear at some point that Ryan Poles was in this conversation because he needed to up the ante. I would be very surprised if he was in the conversation. Jerry Jones has orchestrated a conversation that makes it sound as if the Bears weren't welcome to the table to have the discussion. Mm-hmm. So I doubt very much so that Ryan Poles was in this conversation. I really do. But I hope that he was, for the very least, just up the ante. The
thing is, I totally agree with you from the aspect of you look at how in basketball when the Dallas Mavericks traded Luka to LA, and it's like, well, if the whole league was aware that Luka was on the market, the draft return and package would have been a lot more substantial going backwards. And I'm sure that if, like, all 32 teams or 31 teams in this case was like, all right, Micah Parsons, what y'all gonna ante up? He would have got a lot more in return than just 2 first-round picks.
This is what I'm trying to say.
So it's like, I don't think that's a Ryan Poles thing. Not that he can control it anyway, but that just seems more of a Jerry Jones thing.
This is what I'm trying to say. Jerry Jones went off the deep end and dumped the player because he screwed up. And that's why it looks stupid on Jerry. But at the same time, if this was really going down and it went down, I'm like, Ryan Poles needed to stick his nose in the mix and say something. Hey, look, what's going on over there? Is something going on over there? Well, we gonna do this. Nah, we bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? We being very, very impolite, kids. You're doing what? I know you ain't, but this is how you sound.
SOF capital T, soft.
And you take it, run your gift somewhere else, bro. Like, what's this is the same man who was crying like 3 days ago about this whole thing. I ain't crying about the trade. I ain't crying about the trade at all. I'm crying about where was my GM when the trade went down. That's what I'm crying about. Where were you, Ryan Poole? I just need you to say, hey, I called Jerry. He told me to pound sand. Cool. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I need to hear. But he should have his nose in this business. This is NFC North business. To be frank with you, Dan Campbell should have had his nose in this business. Kwesi Adolfo, whatever his last name is, should have had his nose in this business. All 3 of them cats should have been trying to up.
What's his name? Kwesi Adolfo, Menstrual Cycle. What's his name?
Hold on. We got to stop being rude, man. We invited my guy Alan to come on the show.
What do you think, Alan?
Let's let Alan get off his chest what he thinks.
Break it down, Alan.
Hey man, really, y'all spitting facts, man. I'm with Nomad. I'm like, the trade, it's an happen. Hey, I cried river the other day. I wanted Ryan Poles to make a move, but like one of the individuals said, we don't really know if Ryan did or didn't. But at the same time, it didn't get executed. So I'm kind of like, at this point, let's just go ahead and see what's going to happen on the field. Ryan, I mean, he would have had to do salary cap gymnastics. And he definitely would have had to give up either Johnson or he would have had to give up Sweat. It would have to been a crucial contract so we can have some reprieve on the salary cap. Because I don't think we got but like 6 or 7 million. So it would have had to be a substantial amount of a guy to get, because Kenny Clark makes a pretty good penny. So that helped out Dallas a little bit too. So it kind of covered some of them losses with Michael's with his contract.
But you know what? Also, there's a comment there that, now we know the Packers, if we're going to keep up the poker analogy, all their chips is pushed into the middle of the table. They are what you call all the fuck in. And so if this does not happen in the next 1 to 2 years with them, that window is like slam shut. Not that anybody really considered it open from my perspective, but whatever.
No, you're both you're both bang on, right? So they basically got a hard 2-year window to do this thing. I'm going to say the NFC North has probably never been more competitive than it is right this minute. Going to be it ain't going to be no cakewalk these next 2 years with or without Micah Parsons. So interesting things. Alan basically just lit up more or less how you could have come about that salary cap, and that would be to trade Jaylen Johnson and or Montez Sweat, who's chewing up a big chunk of salary cap right now, and replacing him with Micah Parsons. A third person you could have moved into the mix would have been Tremaine Edmonds. The reality is, I don't see anybody else paying Tremaine the way that we're paying Tremaine. So it would have to be the 2 guys that Alan just lit up. But that's how you do it. One more time, I'm nowhere near as upset today as I was on Friday when it went down. I still think that the three other teams in the NFC North are going to give the Packers a run for their money, if not whoop the Packers' ass regardless. And I'm talking all three of these teams. Ain't nothing wrong with Minnesota. Ain't nothing wrong with the Lions. And this team is on the come up in a major honking way. So take it for what it's worth. Good for you guys. You know, good for the Packers. Good for the guys up north. They got themselves a superstar pass rusher. I think they need a hell of a lot more than that to get the job done.
All right, let me throw the counter. Let me throw the counter argument too, because now I think we at the point where we gotta start thinking about how do we. You gotta figure out how to contain. You got not only you got Micah Parsons on one side, you got Rashawn Gary on the other. They formidable, man. There's no getting around that. And so to me, and I said this on Feed the Bears, the last Feed the Bears episode we did. Somebody asked me, how do you game plan to deal with that? Did you go right at it? You game plan, especially against Micah Parsons. You deal with that with combo blocks. Number one. Number two, you send a chip over there if you feel like you got the tackle over there soloed out on him. You scheme it up so there's a chip over there. At the last minute, bam, send that running back over there to chip him to finish that playoff. You do that, you definitely run the ball directly at him. Run the ball directly at that heat. And then there's two more things you can do in the passing game. You can use the tight end to your advantage. Wherever he vacates, you can stick that tight end right behind that little curl route, little sit down route, and boom, you can dink and dunk your way down the field and challenge their aggressiveness. You just using the aggressiveness against them. And then also in the screen game to that side, you can also use the crackback factor. Use a receiver to crack down on him to make sure he doesn't get out there and make the play. So it's ways to scheme to utilize a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? But I think we have the kind of offensive coordinator that knows what to do with that. But you got two very live edge rushers that you got to scheme around. When plays are going that way, whether it's the run game or the passing game, you need to figure out ways. So if you're gonna roll your quarterback out a few times just to get them guys on the run, you tire them out that way too. So there's ways to do that. Alan, I see you shaking your head, man. Some of that shit I said is starting to make a little sense, don't it?
Yeah, definitely, man. You definitely gonna have to do a lot of duos and a lot of smash runs and stuff like that. But I can see Green Bay moving him in the middle of the field a lot.
Yeah.
You gotta think about it. Dallas ran a 4-3, Green Bay runs a 3-4. So with them running the 3-4, he's gonna have a whole lot more longitude as far as like in the front seven. That's what scares the shit out of me for the Packers is he's in a 3-4 scheme where he can go up the middle, he can come off the edge, he can do a whole lot of things in the 3-4 because of the scheme versatility of the set. 4-3 is not as fluid and flexible as a 3-4 is. So right. Parsons can be saved and he can be schemed open, kind of like on like an offensive player because of the 3-4. The sets are so odd, so he can cause a lot of damage. But like you were saying, though, man, you run at him, you try to find them. Me personally, I think we need to spread the field as much as possible when we play Green Bay and make sure that we keep 4 coming after. If we can see 5 or 6 guys, we're going to exploit them. But if we can spread the field, get those guys out in flanks, I think Ben will have something going on if he can spread the field. But that's going to require us to run the football effectively. You know what I'm saying? So they can go ahead and attack and spread the field so that guy won't have – that way he's going to have to be in a set position the most of the game. If you don't have him in the set position and let the defensive coordinator continue to get creative and start getting a feel for the game, then you're in trouble. So we can dictate where he's going to be and make him flex out. That's going to be the key.
And I'm one of those people who believes this to be 100% true. When you got great players like that, there's no such thing as stopping them. Mm-hmm. What you do is you hope to slow them down by the way you scheme up your game plan. And what me and Alan is talking about is just ways, and he's right when I said that on Feed the Bears, what he just said about them being in that odd front. In a 3-4 front, you can't really necessarily predict where he's going to be set. Mm-hmm. So you might be expecting him to be out there on the edge. They put him in the middle of the field. Sometimes they may flank him back in coverage just to throw you off the set of what we're trying to do with him. So you can scheme creative ways to neutral. So it's going to be a chess match whenever we play.
Yeah.
Well, but here's a comforting thing, Mr. Allen, Mr. Kids, Mr. Nomad, and No Maniacs. We got Big Ben, Big Johnson. And there's something about his attitude. It's not only the X's and O's and how he's able to scheme players open. And it's like, how are these guys open all the damn time that you saw in Detroit? You know, it's going to be a different offense, of course, but he's still bringing that acumen. But there's the competitive nature about him, that dark side that he has, that he will look across to the field at the opponent and go, hey, fuck you. And then, and then he runs his play. You know, there's that aspect to him too, that attitude, that rawness that I think, you know, Bears fans will love, or as Stacey King would put it, he's got that hard hat lunch pail mentality, but his offensive acumen is more of like just a mad genius, mad scientist. So that combination is going to be like, all right, what are we up against this week? He's going to look at film from previous weeks to find out what other teams did to neutralize him, because he's not arrogant enough to think that only his shit works. He's going to take what's worked and incorporate that into his schemes. He's going to listen to, you know, his defensive coaches in practice, or when they get in their brain trust meetings, and they're going, yeah, I think we're going to go with this game plan. Here's how we're going to neutralize Parsons. What do you think, Coach Dennis Allen? Then Dennis Allen says, well, to neutralize that, I would do this, and the other. And he's going to incorporate that into his game plan, Will Johnson. So we are excited about the opportunity to give him the reins of this, not only this offense, but this team. And so we have to trust that he knows how to scheme around good players on other teams. So y'all stop getting your panties in a bunch. It's all good. Go Bears and FGB.
Hey, so let me say this real quick, kids. I'm gonna give it to you. One thing I will do, this conversation just sparked up remembrance that I got all 22 and I can go watch Detroit Lion games against Dallas Cowboy games. I can when Micah Parsons on the field, and I can see what he scripted up if Micah Parsons had effects on that game. Well, I can ask Don Burr. I don't know if he's gonna tell me the truth, but maybe I'll
where that falls short, bro. And I'll just get to the crux of the issue. So, Nomad, you hit it. Allen, you hit it. Trip, you clearly have a lot of faith in Ben Johnson, and I do too. Remember how I said that my ire is with the GMs? Is there a certain room that is required to be significant that may not be quite as significant as it should be with respect to running the effing football at Micah Parsons?
Let me get to that, kid. Let me get to that.
What do you mean? I just got to it. I'm putting it out. But you brought
right,
something.
Let's go there. Since you did that, you're right. Let's go there.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm there. I just put it there. Do we have the running back room?
Well, are you talking about left tackle, or are you talking about running back room?
I'm talking. Let me put it back on the table. On the table right now is the fact that we can run the football at Micah Parsons. That's what's on the table. Can we?
Yeah, you, Trip.
I'm asking all of you.
Well, I would. It is what it is. I mean, we know that. Looking at the running back room, DeAndre Swift is an outside, zone kind of dominant runner. If the holes are inside, he'll take them and exploit them. Is he the running back that you need to run over and run at a Micah Parsons because of his slight stature? Or do you need a more heavier bruising kind of guy to run downhill straight at him wherever he's lined up at? And if that's the kind of back you're wanting, I don't think we have that on the roster, now, because who we got? Manangai and who are the other running backs?
Roshan Johnson.
Yeah, Roshan. Roshan Johnson. Right now, you got 3 running backs on the roster. Swift, Roshan Johnson, Kyle Monangai. The heaviest one with the most bricks in his pocket are Roshan Johnson. Has Roshan Johnson shown us anything in his career that he can line up and be that, battering ram workhorse of it back to run people over like that? It's like, well, no. Does that mean that he can't or won't be? Well, no, that doesn't mean that either. We just haven't seen it or don't know. But other than that, no, we don't have the horses in the stable, if you will, to run at that, constantly. So it's gonna have to be a scheme thing with the with Carlson or Komet and Loveland, lined up as an H-back, getting those chips. It's gonna have to be a lot of misdirections, a lot of play actions, a lot of sucking him in. But eventually it's gonna come down to mono when Darnell Wright or Braxton Jones is gonna have to line up and handle Mr. Parsons one on goddamn one, for however many reps, and they just gonna have to pack a lunch. So right. I mean, that's what it is.
Let me respond to Trips real quick. I want to give Roshan Johnson a little bit of reprieve, and I've been saying it for the longest. We are heavily judgmental. That's what podcasters are. That's what we do. We judge what we see, and I think we gave the running backs a little too much hell, and we didn't really consider the context in talking about in the offseason, talking about what we need, what we don't need. Feel like the running back room is insufficient behind this new offensive line, given the state that the offensive line was in since we got Roshan Johnson, and for sure since DeAndre Swift was here. I think we might have been a little overzealous with judging them, man. Because if the line is poor, what the hell are we doing judging the running backs for? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because that shit, it's like foot to shoe. It works together, man. You got to keep it the entire context where it needs to be. So I'm laying off Roshan Johnson till I see Roshan Johnson behind this new offensive line. I know what Swift can do behind this offensive line. It's about Roshan Johnson. He's a huge unknown in that running back room. Is he going to be? I think the question is he going to be the same Roshan Johnson we've been seeing, or is he going to be an improved running back behind this new offensive line? I'm gonna defer to the latter and say that if they put the tracks in place that he can run through, I think he'll be fine.
Alan, what do you think?
I'm gonna say this, man. Roshan Johnson, he can find 3 yards. He's a 3 yards and a cloud of dust type of guy. And that's why I like him in that goal line role. I would love for him to stay in that goal line role. And Monangai is something I think could be a switchy type of guy. He can come in, he gives you good power runs. But the thing I like about Monangai out of all 3 of them, he presses the line of scrimmage. Like Swift likes to be in the corner. He likes to stay over there, on the corners and try to attack that sideline. But Monangai, he just presses. Like he's one of them guys, he'll get 2, 3, 15, 2, 3, 15. He's a chunk runner. Like he needs about 15, 20 carries. I know he's not going to get that, but he's the type of guy that can expose a defense. And I really believe Ben's going to do running back by committee. Whoever gets the hot hands going to get the carries. And I think Swift is one of those guys that get the screens going. He can get the ball in many different ways. You can even line him up at wideout. I just think the creativity that Ben has, and with the 3 running backs, if he can kind of find those roles for him, they're going to be fine. I think the running back by committee is pretty much what we got to go by, because I don't think we got that one bell cow, that we like, the Matt Fortes. You give him 20 carries, you get 5 or 6 carries, your Neil Andersons. We ain't got that guy right now. So I think by the committee, I think Ben can conjure up something, man. I think we're going to go places, man. But I like Monangai because he presses that line of scrimmage on them inside zones. And he's patient, and he don't run, and hit the backs of the guards. Like he gives the guards enough time to do their jobs and don't just run to the line of scrimmage. He's patient. As he makes his cuts inside the tackle box.
Alan, you know what, man? I said all of that, and we just said all of that, but I still do believe that there's a guy out there on somebody else's roster,
That's where I was going.
some team that can't keep all the backs that they have, and the safest place that they can put them is on a practice squad. What I think is going on, this is just my personal opinion, it's just me putting 2 and 2 together. I think they're evaluating to see where Roshan is. I'm talking about health-wise. We got one solid running back that we know is healthy, and that's DeAndre Swift. The other couple of guys that are on the 53 are not where they need to be. Roshan Johnson, Calvin Nunn. I think they're going through sometime in the first couple of days of practice this week. I think they'll find out where those two guys are. And if one of those two guys, if not both of them, if one of those two guys aren't where they need to go, then there's a practice squad player somewhere that's going to end up on this roster. I think Britton Brown is there as a he's just a placeholder right now.
Right.
Now, the guy that they get, like if they take somebody off of somebody's practice squad, here's the thing. You can't take them off the practice squad and put them on your practice squad. You got to take them and elevate them to the 53, and you got to dress them. And so I think that they're evaluating how those two running backs are in practice this week. First couple of days, we'll find out, I believe. If those two are
about Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll know. We'll know. That's what I think is going on.
Well, that's really where I was headed with the second half of this conversation. We got 3 backs. It's got less to do with whether I think they're caliber or not. It has everything to do with whether they think they're caliber or not. The facts are 2 additional backs went down and we had to dump them. We don't really think that Britton Brown is caliber enough to be elevated to the 53. Hence the reason why he's on the practice squad. He could be on the 53. He is not. I have to say it out loud. He did not impress me personally, right? 13 carries, 28 yards versus 7 carries, 27 yards for the next back. I was not impressed. End of the day, there's humanity out there that we could be looking at and bringing in potentially to help bolster that room. I'm hoping somebody shows up to help us do exactly what you gentlemen have identified. Because you're not the only guys who've identified run the ball at Micah Parsons. That's his Achilles heel. Cool, let's do that, but let's make sure that we have the room to facilitate that. Do I believe that the actual offensive line in this season can support that? I do. I believe Braxton Jones, like, for all the hell that everybody gives Braxton Jones, I believe he's real good in the run game. He's damn good in the run game. So starting out right? Like, there's no question about Joe Tooney. So I think this team, especially with respect to the run game, can be something with the exception of that room. I think they need 1 to 2 more bodies in that room, and they have all the ammunition and ability to go and fill those positions. They're not. I just don't know why not.
I would agree with what everybody's saying and add to that just say Damian Martinez. I'm just going to use that name as an example because he's a bigger back, rookie that's available on the street. Now, we don't know anything about him running in the pros because guess what? He's never done it. But we just can't say we know more about Rojo doing it in the pros because while he's been here a few years, he's got so limited reps that it's like, well, we just don't know. And it's in question so much, which means that it's a doubt, and it's in doubt because it's a question so much. So we would prefer to answer it with, a 6-foot running back who's over 230 pounds, who can line up and be the it wasn't Thunder and Lightning, it was the cartoon thing.
Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, there you go, the Hedgehogs. That Swift, not Swift, but Gibbs and Monty were in that offense in Detroit. They would alternate. They would switch up. They would run the same plays in different formations, and they were pretty much interchangeable. And there was numbers wise, I don't know if there was a bell cow or not, but they were pretty much even. There was no like, that this guy was in this situation because he would switch it up because of the analytics and because of the projection. So I don't see okay, Swift is our lightning. I don't know which one's supposed to be which. I guess Thunder, not Knuckles. But I don't know if Roshan is our Knuckles. So after week 1, I believe when the business side of the league filters out and the rosters and the salary caps and all that, bullshit, now there'll be more open to bringing in, another running back or edge or whatever position they've identified that they can actually upgrade in talent that's available.
All right, let me get a one-word answer out of everybody, please. And we'll start with you, kids, and we'll go around the horn.
Hate these things.
One word. One word. We'll come back to you, bro. Don't worry about it. Will we make a move for a running back sometime soon? Yeah or nay?
Right now, nay.
Yeah.
There's your answer.
There it is. Yeah. What about you, Al?
Same. Yeah.
What about you, Trip?
Yep.
I think so too. It's unanimous.
Yep.
I think there's a guy out there somewhere. Whoever it is, I don't want to get my hopes up too high. I love Damian Martinez, and I think highly of that guy. He was in the running back room, to Minister Charles's point. If they're so impressive, why are they doing on the practice squad? Depending on what team you're looking at, what position group you're looking at, sometimes teams overdraft, especially when you're going to be a run-heavy team. You're going to draft a lot of running backs, and that's what they did. And they got some impressive backs back there. So it doesn't surprise me if you saw George Holani during the preseason for Seattle. That dude played his ass off, and Damian Martinez was supposed to be there to take that place, but George Holani stood 10 toes down. And so you talk about a team like Seattle that has hella running backs. You go to a team like Philadelphia that has depth all over their roster. There's going to be some good players, some very impressive players that get cut. Same thing that happened to Josh Blackwell and Jaylen Jones. Those guys were on people's practice squads. What are they now? You know what I'm saying? So don't be so quick to poo-poo somebody being poached off a practice squad. That doesn't mean he's a bad football player.
Well,
this is the best of the best.
I'm gonna back you up on this one, because remember how deep this particular season's running back class was? All these teams couldn't keep everybody. And if we're looking, and this is why Damian Martinez is an interesting prospect, right? And so is Audric Estime. The Denver Broncos drafted another running back. They've got 3. Estime's truly just a north-south back for them, not really what they required. They let him go. They've got 3 backs ahead of him because they drafted another one this season. They already had Javonte Williams and another back ahead of him last season, right? He just fell out. He's available, somebody you can look at. Damian Martinez, nobody saw Holani running away like he did in the preseason. He looked fantastic. Nobody thought that he would be that guy, but there he was. Unfortunately, that pushes out Damian Martinez.
Minister, put that comment back up, please, and Kez, read that out loud.
What, Minister Charles talking about? Stop it, Nomad.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to put it up just because he's being contrary to Nomad. I love that about him.
He's saying stop it, Nomad. I don't think the 4th best back from another team. I'll just finish.
Well, hold on, but my answer is the 4th best back on another team could be the 2nd best back on your team.
Exactly.
It depends on the teams and it depends on the backs. We have a Swift, Roshan Johnson, and Kyle Monangai. You got a veteran who we know what he is. You got an unproven mid guy, and you got a rookie who's never played. If their number 4 can be better than our last 2, guess what? Now he's our number 2. So you know what I mean? So you just can't put apples to apples like that.
I'm also gonna say that not to knock Kyle Monangai because I haven't seen anything in the NFL yet, but he is a 7th round pick, and we're banking on a 7th round pick. right? That 7th round picks under normal pretenses could be running up against a UDFA, right? That's real close to not being drafted at all, right? So who's to say who's better? I say you bring a couple of guys in, you work them out, and you find out who's better. Or maybe you look at Austin Eckler, who's floating around, and we know what he is, right? Long story short, I just think something needs to be done in this room if you want to run the football straight up against Micah Parsons. That's really where this conversation came from and led to. And I'm not so sure we have the running back room to do it after all those injuries hit and they kind of fell out of favor with Ian Wheeler. And I bet they've kind of recognized that Britton Brown ain't the end all be all, right? Like I think they need at least one. They need to bring in one more running back talent. And I'm going to make matters worse now and say, like, what happens if one of those 3 guys who are in probably one of the most bruising and physical roles in the NFL, being that running back room, any running back room, what if one of those 3 guys actually succumbs to injury, like Roschon Johnson has every single season? We're hurting. We're hurting in that room, bro. We need another body.
I don't know who said this, but I'm gonna read Steve Smith's comments. He says, "Can we ever have anything nice, please?" And he laughed. How is Swift overrated, bro? Everyone making it seem like he's trash, if anything. I don't know who said that.
I didn't even dish DeAndre Swift today.
No, I ain't talking about you. I don't know. Somebody, I might have been reading the chat and might not have heard what everybody said, but I definitely think Swift got a bad rap. You know, I know what Swift can do. He's proven to me what he can do if the line provides. The line has to provide. Y'all got to understand that.
This is why I was saying,
provide.
This is why I was saying I'm not fussed with the humanity in the room. I just think we need an additional body. Oh, he's saying it's somebody. It was someone in the chat. Okay, cool. Yeah, I need somebody else. I need another body in that room in case, again, of injury, which has plagued the number 2 back in the room. He's concussed every season.
And if he goes down again, I think it's a mandatory month because of the number of times that he's been
concussed. Like we need another body in there. They really do. Speaking of remember I was talking about the GM. Speaking about concussions and players, so we have another player who's not in the running back room, who's injured and is often concussed. I'm a little worried about that player, and I think we all should be. I love that player. I think he's the heart and soul of the defense. I think they should also be looking for. I think they should also be looking for a safety, and a safety that I thought the world of just fell out of favor someplace. And I think he might be worth a look as well.
Who that?
His name is Jabril Peppers.
From the Patriots.
You got it. Former New York Giant, top first-round draft pick New York Giant, eventually traded over to the Patriots. The thing about this kid is he's like, I'm going to compare him to Dominique Robinson for a reason.
Oh, Lord.
Well, but it's a good reason. The reason is he can do anything on the field. I'm not 1,000,000,000% sure he's really a safety. I'm not. I'm not sold that that's the best billing for this guy at the end of the day. But he is fast as all sin. Run the ball. In special teams, they don't use him in that capacity, though. If you guys, I don't know if any of y'all seen Jabril Peppers in college.
Oh, I seen him.
Holy smoke!
Well, who's he replacing?
Huh?
Who's he replacing out of the 4 we get?
Well, I wouldn't. He's not somebody because he's fallen out of favor, and I believe he's been released. I would just bring him onto the team. Hell, you could probably put him on the practice.
You know what I think, kid? I think at that position, I don't think anything is going to happen until we get to the bye, maybe. somewhere maybe a week before the bye. If something proves itself not right in that safety room, then right before the bye, I'm talking about what do we got to buy? Week 4, week 5, somewhere around there.
Week
4. So somewhere in that week, they'll if they think that room is insufficient, they'll grab somebody somewhere around there and give them a week to get acclimated, and then probably another week before they even put them on the field. And so I don't think nothing is going to happen in that room until they feel like, okay, we're not where we need to be. I think when you go through a whole camp and go through system installs and all that kind of stuff, just talking about who we can bring in ain't as simple, especially at that position. Running back is a little more easy. You know what I mean? It's a little more, I ain't gonna call it dumbed down, but it's a little more pared down to what they have to learn. You know, you can put them out there for certain plays. You can throw them out there for a couple of runs here and there, but the pass pros and learning the formations and the hot read, all that kind of stuff for a running back is important. So it'll take that running back that we get some time to get to where he needs to be. But for safety, to expect that safety to just come in here and be a dominant player, that ain't gonna happen, you know, right after a camp. He's learning something completely new, different language. So it's different for a safety.
And Darius is saying that he's injured all the time too.
He's right. I'm looking at Jabril's stats real quick, and in 2021 he played 6 games due to injury. 2022 he played 17. 2024 he also played 6 games. So he's
we good.
He's fighting his fights, but I mean, if we need a couple of games out of somebody, if Jaquan's hurting, we did not retain much with respect to backup safety.
Who you think is the weak link in the safety room, kids? Who you think is?
I can live with either one of them. To be honest with you, I can live with Hicks for sure. I can live with Jonathan Owens. I love this particular talent, and if he's out there floating around, might be worth a look.
All right.
Well, my bad. Be nice. Look at me calling y'all by your government, but that's what you got in the chat, so it's all right, I guess.
All right. Let me move the margin a little bit. Let's go over to something that is near and dear to everybody's heart, and I definitely don't like the conversation from the reporters. It's starting to get to the point where it's just like, well, damn, man, is he just like chopped liver? I know I've had particular comments about Braxton Jones this offseason. I felt strongly that they should have drafted a left tackle. And the thing about it is, and it happened, kids. I remember when I said it, I said people are going to get pretty pissed off if Braxton Jones beats out everybody and retains his position at left tackle. Didn't remember me saying that, man? Do you remember that? And where are we?
I'm probably part of those pissed off parties, but keep going.
No, I was just saying, man, I think everybody thinks Braxton Jones is the worst thing in the world. I think some of the stuff. Hold on.
That's a little hyperbolic.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But keep going.
Let me say this. Some of the things I heard, I'm talking about insights from Dan Rochard when asked about Braxton Jones, I thought was some of the more insightful things that I've ever heard an offensive lineman coach say about one of his players. And it sounded like he shot on him, but he didn't. What he said was, you know, I looked on tape and I saw what I've been seeing through camp. And, you know, and I saw a player that we can win with the refined, you know, skill set, you know, working on his fundamentals and his technique and all that kind of stuff. He said these words, I saw a player that we can win with. And Braxton got out there in that first preseason game and went back to his old ways. That's what Dan Rochard said. And so him saying that and said, I picked up the phone, I called Braxton, I let him know, like, listen, you got this, but that's what I heard. This is what I heard from you. You got this, but you cannot revert back to your old ways when you start getting, you can't do that. We can win with you. That's what Dan Rochard, the guy that's been looking at him every single day in practice, every single day. And when I saw Braxton Jones in that second game, I saw the Braxton Jones that I think everybody's going to see come regular season is somebody who's a fighter, somebody who is like Braxton Jones. I said this in a short. Braxton Jones, by all measurements, Ozzie Trapillo was drafted to come in here and replace him. Period. Braxton Jones is a struggler, striver, and a fighter. He fought off those two guys, him and Kieran Amagachi. He fought off the Eagle from Canada. He fought them off, and he is the reigning king of the left side right now. And so I don't think it's the worst thing in the world, us going into this. Braxton knows what he's doing. Him with the refined technique work that he's doing with Dan Rochar, I want to see how good that looks. And I think, about everything I'm hearing and what I've seen on film, I feel good. I think we can do worse than Braxton Jones, bro. Way worse than Braxton Jones. And I'm feeling like, okay, what if he achieves what we think he can and actually comes and be I know what he can do in the run game, but in the passing game, what if I saw clean pockets out there, and that's all I wanted to see.
Yeah.
What about you, Al?
Yeah, I agree, man. I was saying that last year, man. Chris Morgan, and I don't like to talk about nobody's job, but Chris Morgan, man, for you to sit and watch your guy you brought in drafted and watch him struggle with certain techniques of defense again, especially bull rushes. The young man came out and said it. Like, as a coach, you watch this young man go through this stuff, and you never cleaned up his technique. You didn't never get him to bend. And I think a lot of his issues, he stopped moving his feet on contact. If you watch his feet, he stops. He stops and he's trying to wrestle. That's not good blocking. You got to get on the pads and chop those feet and keep them moving. He's got good acceleration on run blocks when he's trying to pull and things like that. When you pull in a tackle, you got to have a lot of confidence in a tackle to pull. So he has the athletic ability to get to the second level. I mean, he has the traits, but I just think some of the little things like you were saying, Nomad, what Coach Rushall was saying, cleaning up the technique, and then sometimes that inside rush, a lot of times I think that's a miscommunication with the guard.
Yeah.
If a guy's coming inside to like the B gap and I'm the outside, the left tackle, and this guy's coming to C, it might be a blitz, something that we don't see on film or something. And it's like, okay, we got to communicate with the guard. You got the guy coming to the B gap, I got C gap. So sometimes when you see a guy flashing in front, especially early in the play, like being said, if you're going to get beat late, 3 seconds. Don't get beat second one. That's a big deal in his passing plays because everything's about timing. So if you get beat late, this is the NFL. You're going to get your ass kicked from time to time. But for the most part, Jones, I feel like probably is the best thing that we can go by. And like I said, Rochard, I trust his judgment. And I mean, we've seen Jones be a solid contributor, but it's times where he's got beaten really bad. So it's kind of like he's a hit and miss type of talent, and a hit and miss type of person on the field. And that's the stuff he's got to clean up. He's got to become more consistent. And I think with a good coach that can see the film and walk him through the things and stay on him, I feel like that's going to help out a lot.
Hey, let me real quick get to something my supernomaniac Paul Rodriguez said. He says, it's funny you say this, Paul, because I was the guy in the whole Bears community, the one guy in the community saying this. People wanted to beat the dog shit out of me for saying it. Oh, why would you do that? We got him leave him on the right side. Okay, I'm gonna read what he says. He says it will end up being Darnell Wright at left tackle and Ozzie at right tackle. Ben will make the switch by the bye week. I'm just gonna say this. I think now in hindsight, we know this to be a fact. This is per Ben Johnson. This thing didn't turn out the way that they wanted it to, and it's still I guess it's a running battle. It's still a running situation. And Ben Johnson thought that this would be over a long time before now, but that didn't happen. That did not happen. And I was a proponent the entire offseason saying, put Darnell in this competition. You drafted a right tackle to begin with. Put Darnell at your right. Darnell at your left. Put Ozzie on your right, and there you go. And so they were being stubborn, and they didn't give Darnell Wright left tackle reps this training camp, and I think that's going to come back to haunt him. That's just my thoughts on that.
Well, also,
go ahead, Al.
I want to say with that, Nomad, I think a lot of it with Wright is he was saying something about, I know it's, he would like to go to the left. Everybody wants to play left tackle on the line. That's the highest paid position on the line is left tackle. So I wouldn't doubt in a million years he would love the challenge. But Darnell Wright has to clean up those penalties, man. Left tackle, you're furthest away from the quarterback. So if you're jumping off sides at the right tackle, I can only imagine what you're going to jump off at the left. So that's the only thing I would worry about him. It's not the technique. He's probably our best blocker, but it just scares me with the penalties. That left tackle, man, you're kind of on an island in the NFL compared to college and things like that. Because at Tennessee, he played it and then he moved back to the right. And I think that was because of injuries. Yeah. So he has, played the position, but he's got to clean up those pre-snap penalties, man. They throwing him out of practice just because he's jumping off sides. That's got to get cleaned up.
Hey, Alan, I watched that guy when he was playing left tackle at Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if he was can't remember if he was a freshman or a sophomore, but I think he was a freshman. Might be. But absolutely maul. Edge rusher after edge rusher after edge rusher, the best in the country at Alabama at that time. Just absolutely maul him. At Tennessee. I mean, when he was a freshman at Tennessee or a sophomore. I watched the best on the best. And I came away with that's a left tackle if you want him to be. Period. That's just what I saw on tape. And so that guy ain't left Darnell Wright's body. He's gonna have to get reps. I think he should have got some in this camp. I think if they had it to do over, it'll go down exactly the way I'm describing it. Give that guy some reps.
Well, I would just say this. Not where, but when you say people are saying not Darnell Wright, damn it. Braxton Jones is the worst thing ever. It's like, nah. I think average people would say that Darnell Wright is maybe out of 32 teams, he would be in the 13 to 17 range. Is that fair or is that too high?
Are we talking about starting tackles in
all 32 teams? Left tackles.
I think if you give him a season, I think he can get to where you're talking about.
You're saying if you're moving Darnell Wright from the right tackle.
No, not Darnell Wright. Braxton Jones now.
I think Braxton Jones is up there, man. I think he's in the top 15.
Really?
So mid.
Yeah.
There's no way he's in the top 15.
Yeah, there's every way he's in the top 15.
No chance.
Okay. All right. Nomad says top 15. Kid says
maybe
fuck
20,
that. No,
22.
Maybe 20. Alan, where you get Braxton Jones as far as number starting in the league for left tackles?
I would put him between 15 and 20. He'll be in that phase right there.
All right. So what I'm hearing,
he's definitely a C plus, B minus.
All right. So I'm hearing he's basically mid. And that goes along with Coach Rochar's comments that, like, yeah, we can win with you. As long as you mid, we can mask it. We can work with you. I would like the standards for this team to be higher than mid. So if we can aim for a left tackle who's, let's say, top 10 in the left tackle range, or a solid top 15. Okay, it doesn't have to be top 5, that would be best, but that's just getting greedy. But if we can upgrade to where the baseline is a top 15 and then a ceiling up from there, I think that's a good thing. But we're not really seeing Braxton Jones as somebody whose ceiling is going to be a top 10 left tackle. He can shore up his anchor. He can continue his athleticism, but he's gonna be, forever mid.
Do you want to know where he's ranked? Where he's ranked for PFF?
Hold on,
I'll tell you right now where his rank is.
I think Braxton Jones, because he's what he is and has played enough reps in this league, I think he might be the savior of this season. Just the stability.
Want to know what his rank is?
What is it?
Hey, man.
21st. So I said 20 or 22nd.
Somebody's getting on him in the chat about,
Someone bang on.
That's why he's doing that.
I get it that he's okay, but like, Jodeci forever mid, that doesn't work. We need better. We need to raise our expectations.
Like Trips, let me tell you something, man. Where he gets those numbers from and who ranks them is highly questionable in the first.
No, I don't give a shit about PFF. I'm talking about what we all said. I watch the games like we all do. None of us have put him higher than what we need at left tackle. Even yourself. You're saying
what's funny, Nomad, though? What's funny about PFF?
Like,
calm down, Triple R. What'd you say, kid?
What's funny about PFF is I'm looking at their rankings for our line. So Drew Dahlman, Darnell Wright, Joe Tooney. Would you believe that Braxton Jones has a rating that's much higher than all three of those players? Which to me is crazy talk.
The better question to ask me is would I give a fuck? I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't watch.
What I'm trying to say is you're saying that their general rating is questionable. I'm saying that they have him rated very high.
I don't care.
But he's still the 21st tackle in the league.
I don't care.
All right.
I do not care about no fucking PFF or they fucking numbers, bro.
But you're the one who asked where do you think they were ranked? Like you're the guy who cared in the first place.
Man, bro. Let me tell you.
You asked a fucking question. I'm answering your fucking question.
I asked you what?
You asked, where do we think he's ranked? 15 or what?
No, you asked me that.
I did not.
Yes, you did.
No, I told you where he was ranked. He's ranked 21st.
And would I believe it or something like that? I don't give no fucks about none of that.
I said, would you believe that he's got a 77 rating versus a 62 for Joe Tooney versus a 58 for Darnell Wright? He's actually ranked over and higher than the rest of our line, than a 52 for Drew Dahlman.
All you had to do is watch. I'll pull up. I'll leave the all 22.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they actually have Braxton Jones.
I will leave the all 22.
We got company, y'all. We got company, y'all. We got company.
I will leave the all 22 in the studio for you for any game you want to watch. Any game you want to watch, you can just come in the studio.
How about you send the all 22 to fucking PFF?
To me, bro.
Send it to PFF.
let me finish saying what I got.
Fucking PFF.
Yeah.
Don't send it to me. I'm just telling you what I'm reading.
Well, don't repeat that shit to me because I don't.
You asked what his ranking was. You brought up the ranking.
All right, let's move. All right,
fucking tell me you don't care.
I don't care, man. I don't care about no fucking.
You asked. You clearly care. If you didn't care, you wouldn't have asked.
Let's move on, man.
Don't ask.
Talk about no goddamn man.
Damn it.
I watched Braxton Jones on film, and I'm telling you guys right now, in the totality of his film, outside of his if you isolated his third down reps or the passing reps where they had to go have it, let's just say a 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 11, whatever it was, third down where he knows somebody's finna come streaming at him, right? You isolate those reps, and that contributes to whatever losing analytics numbers that Braxton Jones has, because that is where he's weak. He could not sit down and stop the edge rush, the fast speed rush, the speed to power. He could not stop it. He would get driven into the quarterback every single time.
Couldn't anchor.
You take those reps in particular out of the way and watch the rest of Braxton Jones's games, and he is out fucking standing, bro. I'm not kidding you. He's locked down in every other facet of being a left tackle. You take that part out of it, but you cannot take that part out of it. You can't isolate that. That's part of it. And so when you tell me about numbers that I don't care, man. I watched it on tape. That's his weakness is the bull rush, speed to power, bro. That's it. Other than that, he'll be a Pro Bowl left tackle every fucking year. Every year. If he finds a way to do that, which I don't see him growing a bottom in the next 8 days, then we looking at a Pro Bowl left tackle, bro.
And this is a contract year too, yeah.
And you know about them contract years.
Yeah, Mr. Charles.
But here's the thing, though, that I think we can all agree on and maybe have a little optimism about. Are we have identified certain rooms, the running back room that we're not sure about, the left tackle position we're not sure about. We haven't really brought up edge or defensive lineman or defensive end, and we kind of mentioned safety going forward. But the team in general has a lot more answers than it does questions, or a lot more potential answers than it does question marks. So we have increased our talent level in many different rooms. We have depth in many different rooms. Now it's being tested with the cornerbacks and all, with Smitty going out and, all of that situation. But we are in a better situation than we are. And going forward, now we can spend free agent money or draft resources on running back, left tackle, edge, or safety because we've addressed other positions. So, going into the season, it's not a hemming and hawing. It's like, damn, this guy sucks, so we need to upgrade that. Yeah, we may need to upgrade it, but we can win with him, as Coach Rarshire says. But going forward, I think we're in a good position that this team is, like bottom 5 in dead cap. So Poles fixed that situation. We have talent. We have young talent. We have veteran talent that's paid and it's spread out. So going forward, we're in good position to keep acquiring talent for this team and this coaching staff. So it's not all doom and gloom. Yeah, there could be upgrades that we want, but going into the season, this is what it is. These are the question marks, but they are not detrimental to the point that it's like, yo, this guy sucks and we are in trouble in this position.
Hey, Alan, watch this. Watch how I swerve this car. Now we're gonna talk about Jaylen Johnson, and I'm gonna just lead the I'm gonna lead the troops here. There's I will be watching closely come tomorrow at around 1 o'clock, whenever they practice, to see if the reporters report that Jaylen Johnson at least was a because I don't think it won't really matter to me until he gets out there on Wednesday. And unless he's out there on Wednesday in a 4-participant Wednesday. Where is Jaylen Johnson? If there's no soft tissue injury that I've ever heard of, gonna keep somebody out in an entire training camp. An entire training camp. There's not a one that I've ever heard of. Now Jaylen Johnson, that situation is let's just say I'm counting on him to be out there, but I'm not at the same time because I don't know what's going on with him, man. Something's going on behind the scenes that ain't being discussed, and I don't want to bring bullshit into the and put no bullshit on his name or nothing like that. And I don't care as far as that goes, but I just want to see if he'll be out there and be a participant this week, and we can count on him week 1. Because if we can't, then we got other shit to talk about. What y'all think about that? Kids? You muted.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about it. I don't know why he'd be bullshitting if he's trying to hold out for a contract or something to that effect. Do what you got to do, get your money, but timing is all wrong. That's all I gotta really say about it. So we'll see what he does in a couple of days.
Hey, Steven, hamstring strain is a soft tissue injury because the hamstring, it's soft tissue. Yeah. But yeah, go ahead, Alan.
I'm just gonna say, man, I think it's something to do with money. I mean, it's got he went on Rich Eisen's show and kind of was talking about money, and then all of a sudden it was like, poof, I'm gone. It's like he got hurt. And like I say, one thing about the NFL, if you're hurt, you don't have to talk to the media. So if he's off the NFL or the puck, he's gonna have to get on the top of that stage and tell us what was going on. So eventually, I think they're going to talk to him probably this week. I could see some stuff hit the wire this week, but Jalen's got, especially if he wants to be that corner that chase you across the field, and he's talking about being the number one corner going against the number one wide out. He's got to be in shape for that. That requires condition. Above anything else is condition for that type of technique as far as going across the formation with the number one wide out. Like that means that's a lot of work, man. So I want Jaylen to be there, but I just don't think it's gonna end well with Jaylen. Jaylen, this is going on his third coach, right? At Chicago. So
you were Navy.
That's what I was trying to. I was trying to argue that, man. I was trying to argue that.
Yeah, three coaches. Most guys don't get three coaches in the organization. That three becomes too many. So I just don't think I don't think Jalen's gonna be a lifer here. I don't see it.
Alan, I've been trying to say to people, and I told these two guys the same thing I'll tell you. I thought that one thing they probably should have did was, if they was going to start over with new coaches, defense and offense, was to get the guys that have been here too long and experienced too much turmoil, too much trauma. And that's what it's been, trauma and turmoil since those guys have been there. I'm talking about Jaylen and Cole Kmet. You know, I thought that they've been served better to make a move for those guys, because I think those two guys would be happier elsewhere, because they've seen too much. They've seen every fucking cycle come around and say, okay, this is going to be the Bears year. This is going to be the Bears year. And they got overhyped and ready to be let down. And when you got that kind of mindset in a locker room full of guys who are starting from scratch, I don't know how. I think Cole Kmet is a solid trooper, no matter how you look at it. I think Cole Kmet's going to be an asset to the team long as he's here. But I guarantee you, Cole Kmet has eyes somewhere else. If he can get away from here, he will. Even Cole Kmet, and I think he's a trooper. But Jaylen, he's a different beast, man. He wants to. Everybody at this point in their career, after that first contract, now they want to go play for a winner, and they probably won't see Chicago as that winner.
So I did see what Sophisticated Thoughts is talking about. He says Jaylen Johnson is all in, brother. He said so as much on the podcast with Shannon Sharp and Ocho Cinco. Even if he didn't want training camp, he's one of the most prepared players. I don't know how prepared he is. I did see him working out maybe 2 weeks ago. He was at the preseason game, wasn't suited up, but he did work out. I did watch the Shannon Sharp interview. He spent a fair amount of time touting Dennis Allen as a defensive coordinator and what he can potentially do with the secondary. So that was the conversation that he had. Being on a show like that gave him the opportunity to maybe voice his disdain, if he truly had disdain. So I'll put that out there as well. And this is, I believe, the second podcast that he's been on in the last couple of months since he's been injured, since his preseason is gone. I believe he was also on Rich Eisen's show. And in that scenario as well, he didn't really bring up anything too scathing with respect to this new staff or wanting to leave or his contract. So I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm not sure if we're really in some sort of an impasse with him. I don't know if it's really just an injury as they're saying it is. We're going to find out real soon, though, and hopefully he's playing football against Minnesota.
Well, the Jaylen has always been a walk his own path kind of guy, with his attitudes and his off the snide comments, and as Scrolls would put it, his shirts and his wardrobe. But that's, Jaylen. Okay, cool. But the thing that really hurts, beyond if he's looking for a new deal or not, is the fact that he has not been on the field with the team in camp. He's a veteran, sure, but guess what? Dennis Allen and this defense are all brand new. He has not operated in this system with these players before. So the more time he misses, the worse off for him and the team. With him not being out there to get those live reps in preseason, his conditioning is that much further behind everybody. So he's not going to be, ready day one, play one to run with the rest of those guys because his legs just aren't there. Especially if he's been, bringing along a leg injury or a hammy strain. He can't stretch and run like that because of the hamstring strain. So he hasn't been put on the PUP or the temporary IR for the first 4 weeks. So they are planning on him being able to contribute. So
he's been reactivated.
So it's a very precarious injury because he's a cornerback. So every play he's out there running. He's out there stretching. He can't be half stepping or it's going to be toe city and you got to take him out because he's going to be hurting the team more than he's helping. So either way, it's not ideal at all. And it's going to be interesting to see how he is brought up to speed without being totally detrimental for the defense.
You know what, Trips? I would say this, man. They say it takes 2 days to get out of shape and 2 weeks to get back in shape. You know what I'm saying? Now, football shape, especially for a cornerback, your cardio is everything. Your wind is everything. That's all you got. Your wind and your legs. That's what you live by. You live by the strength of your legs. How long do they last? Your cardio. How much wind do you have? And so the difference in me working out, getting ready for a camp versus playing in a camp and getting in football shape, I'll tell you. So in me getting ready for a camp, that's me doing a lot of sprints, a lot of gassers and all that kind of stuff. And then when you get to the camp, it's gassers, it's stop and go. It's rep to rep to rep to rep. You might have to go out there and cover somebody all the way down the field for 3 and 4 times in a row. You got to that's the best way I can describe it. It's like a different kind of in shape. Like football shape is different than running around being regular. Me and you, Allen and kids, man, it's different, man. It's different. Football shape is another monster. I think I expect Jaylen, if he's going to be ready, it'll be a couple of weeks. And, he'll play through that, though.
You know what, Nomad? The cornerback position, wide receiver, running back, and I would say a little bit of linebacker, depending on scheme, but more so those other positions. You got to be somewhat close to basketball shape. As far as your quick twitch ability, because everything is fluid on the pass, right? The NFL compared to college, in college, they're running the route tree. It's going to be pretty standard as it used to be. But in the NFL, they got option routes. Everything is on pre-snap, or the quarterback is making reads and the wide receivers are making reads. So these DBs now, they have to transition from 5 yards to 50 yards. So, like you said, that technique and that cardio is so vital in corners, man. And then wide receivers running a lot. So he has to be in shape, and that cardio is majorly important.
Man, I don't know how to describe. I don't know how to emphasize that more, man. He's going to need wind and legs. And the only way you get that is going through the full camp. It's going to take him a couple of weeks, man. He might struggle a little bit at first, but he'll get there, man. I've seen dudes do it before many times, miss a whole camp. Veterans do that on a regular basis, and they use the first couple of weeks of the season to get in football shape. We've seen that 1,000 times, man. But I'm not concerned about. The fact is that Jaylen Johnson's in Chicago until he's not a problem. But I'm just going through the psyche and the mindset of somebody like Jaylen Johnson. That ain't. I don't see it as a problem, but in his mind, I can imagine it might be a little different. You know what I'm saying? Given what he's going through. But let me swerve again, man, because we got a couple other injury things to talk about real quick. And I can't wait, and I'm knocking on wood before I even open my mouth. TJ Edwards going off the field, not happy and upset about whatever happened. That's a case study I'm watching very, very closely. We need TJ, man. We need TJ in that thing, man. This defense will not be what this defense is supposed to be without TJ Edwards on that field. I'm watching to see. I'm hoping he don't hit IR for the first 4 games. I really am. Kez, have you heard about that?
You said TJ Edwards is headed to IR?
Yeah. I ain't saying no. Hell no. Knocking on wood again. I'm hoping he won't go to IR.
Any idea what the injury is?
Just something with his leg. Something with his leg is all I know from reporters from Twitter. There's something going on with his lower body, and he had to go off the field and into the building, and he was pissed off and threw his helmet down. That's all I know.
Well,
ankle sprain, maybe.
I don't want to hear none of that, man. TJ's he's a key portion of this defense. Now, I am going to say this, and you're going to love it. The 2 guys who got the better part of the snaps this here preseason, they both look really good. So this may be a next man up situation that I'm somewhat happy about, like not happy, but I think we might be pleasantly surprised by, if there's a better way to put it. I think whether it is Ruben Hippolyte, who really showed out in this preseason, or your boy Noah Sewell.
There's a difference is TJ, the person that took all of TJ's reps the entire training camp is Ruben Hippolyte. Noah Sewell took
middle, yeah.
So I would think that it would be Ruben Hippolyte to really step into the role initially. I'm just saying that I liked what I saw from both of them out there, and hopefully the drop off isn't huge. And I clearly got to knock on wood here before I say that, because, man, TJ Edwards is a sideline to sideline tackling beast.
Not both.
You know, he's knocking the snot out of you. You're 1,000,000,000% right. I do see the speed, in Hippolyte, just like Crimson is saying. He likes him as the Mike. I don't know if I really liked Noah Sewell in playing the Mike role. I really did. I thought he played it very well. But I think sideline to sideline and tackling the hell out of somebody does look a lot like what Ruben Hippolyte could bring to the table. So let's all hope that prayers up for TJ regardless. And worst come to worst, let's hope that Ruben's ready to go.
Yeah, I'm not really tripping right now, because I know extra precautions are being taken with every injury, every ding, every dang that every one of these players has, and that were this a game week, they would be out there playing. But because it has been preseason, it's like, all right, just go on over there and hang out on the bench kind of thing. Even if it's just a little tweak, because there's no need for you to push the issue. Just go ahead and get as healthy as possible. So until we get out there or get an injury report, because TJ hasn't been put on, any kind of long-term list or anything, and it's like, all right, maybe he's out a week, but I don't think that it should be a worrisome topic. But until the actual injury report comes out, which I believe is Wednesday or Thursday or so, then we would have some kind of or some more clarification. But yes, he's a tough guy. He's going to be out there. But if he's not, 4th round pick, who ESPN didn't even have a picture of, didn't know what school he went to, didn't know the boy's name. But yeah, Hippolyte, he could be out there, doing this thing. He's been showing up on special teams. He's also been showing up in the defense in the preseason. And Sewell has been looking good, mentioning his name, wearing the green dot. at middle. So, the linebacker room, we're knocking on wood, we, crossing the fingers, we throwing midgets under bridges or whatever the thing you're supposed to do with midgets and where you're supposed to throw them for good luck. I don't know, but throw them there, and we gonna get everybody good to go on the field.
Any other thoughts about TJ? None?
Yeah, I want TJ to be out there, man. No different from y'all. I want him out there. That's our guy. I kind of like TJ at the mic more than I like Edmonds. Just the fact that he controls the center of the line a little bit more. Edmonds, I think, is better in space. I think he's going to help us a lot in coverage. And but I hope TJ gets back. I don't want to see our defense without TJ. I think he's a integral part of the Bears defense and going forward.
I think, the importance of Dennis Allen, making sure that everybody, the only person I know out there that wasn't cross-trained in this training camp that I know of, given, I'm just getting reporters' stories and reports. Ruben Hippolyte was the only one that I know that stayed at one role, and I like that for a rookie. Stayed at one role, and you leave him there. My mindset is you leave somebody there until they're fluid. And what do I mean by fluid? That means they're seamless with their reactions. You know what I mean? Everything is just like boom, boom, boom. You're going through your keys, you're going through your reads, and boom, you're reacting to the football, wherever it's coming at you or somewhere else. You're not a step slower than the people in front of you. And so I've been a big advocate all my life of keeping people where they're at until you feel comfortable with them at that position. And so I think there's a reason why they left Ruben and had him the entire camp at will linebacker. I think they wanted him to master that role before they make adjustments and start moving them, putting green dots on them and all that kind of stuff. Play middle. Get this right first. I think that's the best way to go about training, especially young rookie players and stuff like that. Noah Sewell's been through a camp or two, you know what I mean? He knows what to do out there. He's going to be a little more seamless than Ruben because Ruben just got there. So it makes sense more to put the dot on Noah, who played well with the dot on his head, like Ked said. I just like the fact that they didn't put too much on this young player when they didn't have to. And that's the way I look at the whole thing with Ruben Hippolyte. Don't put him nowhere else until he's got this will shit down to a science. Any other thoughts? Nope. All right. One other thing to talk about is Jaquan Brisker, who left the field the last practice that I heard of. The last practice, he left the field, and, it's been a mix-up on social media. So a lot of people saying he left on the cart. No, he did not. He left with a trainer on one of those golf carts. And so the cart in a practice is different than a golf cart in game time. So he got on a cart with a golf cart with a trainer, and he left and went back to the facility. Nobody said exactly what it was, whether it was lower body, upper body. None of the stuff was vague. So we don't know exactly what happened with Jaquan Brisker. Seemed to be fine on social media. But that's one of the things that a lot of people were worried about going into the season. What say you guys about that? What'd you say, kids?
I don't think he's played a full season since he's been drafted. And I love this guy, man. He plays with so much heart, man, that kid. I want two things really. I want him to get the opportunity to play the better part of a 17-game season and earn that contract he's looking to earn that I think he deserves. Now, the reason why he hasn't received it yet is clear and obvious as day. He gets injured frequently. Them concussions are a thing, right? I think he would have had that contract already. Just if we're just talking about gameplay, football play on the field, my guy's lights out. But unfortunately, he gets his lights put out too frequently. I'm saying so. It kind of is what it is. And here we are, and he's hurt again potentially. Let's hope, again, knocking on some wood, that it's a short-term thing. Maybe, it's something. Let's really hope it's something someplace else, and it ain't as melon. Shout out to you, Melon Smasher. You know what I mean? But if that head, man, I really hope that I hope I hope it ain't a concussion. That's all I got.
What'd you say, Alan?
Yeah, I hope it ain't a concussion either, kids. I've been rooting for this kid a long time. I remember that first preseason game against the Chiefs when he was a rookie. I was like, this guy's all over the place. I mean, he played safety the way it should be played, close to the line of scrimmage, guarding running backs. I mean, he was flying to the football. And I was like, I haven't seen safety play like that for the Bears in a while. He was giving me Mark Carrier. I don't know if y'all remember Mark Carrier vibe from USC. That
20?
dude was a thumper.
Number 20.
Yes, Mark Carrier was a thumper, man. I was like, he got that athleticism like Mark, and I was like, man, he's taller, and I just felt like, man, this kid could grow into be a perennial All-Pro. But then it's like these head injuries, and you can't diagnose, things like that. You can't diagnose and over and under the ability for this young man to think, on the fly, and these short moments and stuff like that. Like that's the thing that scares me, like going for his career and after football, so head injuries are the worst. And I'm just nervous about it. And I wish him the best, and I want the best from him because he's a bear at heart.
Yeah, he's a baller at heart. Whatever position you put him at, he puts it all out there. And I don't. First of all, let me give a shout out to my nephew. He was a problem out there yesterday on that little 10-year-old field.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? He was wreaking havoc on those little so-and-sos. But I can see him. I'm videotaping, but he stands out because he's the only kid out there that he's wearing the Guardian cap on his helmet.
Oh,
yeah, so I can be like, oh, that's him.
Okay, why though, Trips?
Did he get a concussion before?
Well, no, because his parents care about his health.
No,
okay. No, that's a good.
Well enough.
So they want to.
Well enough.
They want to use their every precaution possible. That it's like, all right, well, this is something that is scientifically proven to help, risk or help the brain against some of these collisions that happen in this sport of collision football. And so it's like, however much it was, okay, well, they got to wear helmets, they got to wear shoulder pads and thigh pads. And guess what? We're going to put a helmet on a helmet. Now, considering that the injury of someone with concussions, that it's like, please, you're going to play. Take precaution as much as you can. I mean, he can't see the Guardian helmet on, who's ever wearing it, so it really shouldn't matter. And from what I've heard the reports of, it really cushions those impacts. And the way Kwani softens the blow, you know what I mean? No Diddy. And the way Kwani B, goes into the plays with his head down, it's like you want to soften that as much as you can, my boy, because that's just the way he plays. You can't coach that out of him. So you got to at least modify or at least make it as safe as possible for him to do what he does, how he does it. And that's so scary for him as a person, because I'm a fan of his game. I'm a fan of this team, and I want him to be a part of this team. But, there's the humanity side and the business side saying, well, look, we can't sign this kid to another deal because, he's a safety, and he's got, scrambled egg things going on up there, and we can't extend that. because of just the virtue of the nature of the game and his game. So it's like this could be, the Kwani B swan song as number 9 on this team. So let's hope that he stays as healthy as possible, and we're hoping that it's a lower body injury, that he's hurt, because we don't want anything to happen to him. But we can't go forward on eggshells with a running back in the name of Roshan Johnson and or a safety who have concussion issues. I mean, those are the 2 worst positions to be at with those issues.
Number one, Trips. Let me tell you something. You can talk your ass off, but I'm just gonna tell you something personal. I am absolutely terrified every time you open your fucking mouth on one of these shows, because I don't know what the fuck you're gonna say. And you, in true Triple R form, man, I like the fact that your nephew is using the Guardian cap. I know it's, from a football player, somebody like me, that's like what the fuck? I'd be like, nah, I'd probably be like Jaquan at first, but if I had issues, right? If I had issues with getting my shit cracked and not being right, and if I want to continue to play, I got to consider every option available to me. And I'm not trying to pour salt on Jaquan for poo-pooing that. He is the player that he is. And to say this, to be out front in the open, he's been the guy throughout the entire camp. I've heard his name every single day and hasn't come off the field for one single rep. Now he goes through this practice and has to get carted off the field for whatever reason, not carted, but got into the vehicle with the trainer, and he had to go off the field. I'm just going to hope and pray. I'm not going to lean into my nether regions of my mind, the dark side, man, and say, it was something like that. No, I haven't heard anything that would indicate that whatsoever. And so I think Jaquan Brisker is going to play this year, and I think he's going to have a bang out ass year. And I think Jaquan Brisker, to be honest with you, might look a little suspect on the field for the first game or two, because it's been so long since he's played actual meaningful football. That shit in the preseason ain't nothing. Real football with real live chess matches happening on the field in real time, communicating with your teammates, making sure your assignment is down pat. That's what he's been missing. And the actual physicality of going through an entire game with your wind and with your legs that we was talking about before, I think that's a bigger hill to climb for Jaquan Brisker right now. That's why I don't expect him to be the guy that we expect him to be in the first couple of games. I think that's more of a hurdle than people would give it credit. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah. I think to add to your point, Nomad, I think Jaquan Brisker, that Chiefs game, he had a rough go at it. He was a little out of place on a couple of things, and I was like, Kelsey was doing some things to him, and I'm like, if all things were equal and that was a regular season game, they would have put 40 on that defense, easy, So Brisker was looking like he was a step behind on some of those plays.
Exactly.
And just by you mentioning that, I was like, yeah, I could see that he's still kind of gathering his wind, communication, because also he's going to another coach. This will be his second coach. So the schemes and the responsibilities are a little different, so, and I know that play with Roche, with the cornerback, Nashawn Wright, on that deep pass, it looks like that he should have been over a little bit more, like over the hash, and he would have had a little bit more depth to help him out on that. It looked like they went in like a man zone, it looks like, and just things like that, little things that he's got to get back in sync with.
Yeah. And let me tell you something, man. Ain't nothing like playing a 4-quarter, 60-minute war with everything you got. It ain't no damn substitutions on you on the defense. If you good, you're gonna stay the fuck out there, because we need you out there. You're a starter. How many times do you see, unless you get injured, somebody substituting for a safety, somebody substituting for a corner. Now, unless somebody gets hurt, your ass is out there. And either you got the win and you got the legs to boot, or you don't. And so I think also that and the communication aspect on it, I'm talking about on the fly. When they call an audible at the line of scrimmage, you and the other safeties, communication needs to be flawless. All that kind of stuff is a work in progress with Jaquan right now. Plus the 4-quarter legs that he needs to get up under him that he didn't. You know, a year off of a football player, man, that's a long time.
Yeah.
He pretty much was out a year. So, all right, let's get, unless you guys got, kids, you got anything else on that, man? Feel free, Trips. All right, let's move to the last thing we need to talk about, and that's this matchup with Minnesota. And this is what I came to talk about. I believe this, man. I believe we match up very, very well with this team. And I think because they have JJ McCarthy, I'd be singing a different tune as far as why I think whether this is an even matchup or an uneven matchup. I would probably give Minnesota the edge if they still had Sam Darnold back there. But they have JJ McCarthy back there. Here's the thing. The first thing we're going to have to do, kids, is stop those running backs. And that is Aaron Jones. And I think that is the running back from they just got from San Francisco. It's Jordan something. I can't remember. Kids, help me out there.
I think it's Jordan Mason.
Jordan Mason. I think you're right. That's the biggest. If they can stop the running game, everything else, all the chips will fall right where they need to be. Every piece of the puzzle will get right where it needs to be. Just stop them on the ground. And for years, I'm sick of saying this, and I'm knocking on wood. I'm going to say this year we stopped that motherfucking Aaron Jones for a change. He has carved us up. He might be worse than any quarterback, worse than any other receiver, worse than any other single football player to the Chicago Bears. That dude has had his way with the Bears. Kids, am I right or wrong, man? I'm going to start with you.
Oh, you know, I'm sick of seeing that guy, period, man. I could live a long life without ever seeing Aaron Jones again. I would be happy with that. You know, that being the case, how do you back to you and or Alan, how do you think we manage Aaron Jones? Aaron Jones is really generally deployed in zone and in crossers or drag routes. That's how he sort of gets us. What are your thoughts on how Dennis Allen can thwart that?
Mix up Gordon, because he wants to move Gordon around.
Nice.
I think he wants to move Gordon to like some hybrid, like taking maybe a linebacker off the field and keep Gordon in there, or you move him to the third level. That type of guy like Gordon is like a chess piece. Like you could be like, okay, well, Gordon, take the hot man, which is Aaron. Take Aaron. And you could find different ways to manipulate some of the things they're gonna try to match up, because the last time Jones seen TJ, they just did a Texas route and he almost took it 6. You know, it's just, you know, our linebackers, we don't in space.
Hey, Alan, you might have to tell him what a Texas route is.
Oh, my bad. A Texas route, because I used to hate him myself as a linebacker. The Texas route, when you do the loop, when a running back does a loop outside the line of scrimmage, he takes a side step and he goes into a loop. But as a linebacker, when you visually looking at that, he could go out into the flats, which that's what your coach do. But instead, they'll whip around in front of you, and that's a lot of times they'll empty the field right there where it's just you and the running back one-on-one. A lot of times they'll do like a trips, or they'll do an overload in the wide receiver concept, and they'll get that running back out there by itself with the inside linebacker, and that's just a daisy. I mean, it's just one of them things you gotta be good in your technique and don't let him get too much leverage on you. And he did on TJ, and he almost took a 6 that time. So Aaron is always lined up in those positions that he's always in kill spots with the Bears. So maybe if we could put Gordon on him, because Gordon can guard him end to end. You're just going to have to get creative as a defensive coordinator and don't put linebackers on him so much. Stay away from putting linebackers and put a DB on him. I know that would take a DB off of coverage, but I don't really trust Minnesota to have a lot of receivers. I know they signed Thielen. They traded for Thielen. So, Minnesota's still kind of dry back there at the wide receiver. They still need some more wide receivers compared to their running back room. Their running back room is pretty solid.
You know what, Alan? I think you're right, man. I think, I'm not trying to agree with you because you're a guest on the show, but I think you just made a great point. I think the offense the defense and how they scheme this up, I think they have to look at, this is the way I look at Aaron Jones anyway. He's a receiver.
Yeah.
You have to look at him that way and then game plan that way. And that means leaving an extra DB on the field at all times when he's out there. So, if that makes us a little bit weaker in the run, then we overcompensate. We grab a safety and put him down in the box and pray that everybody can tack up and be man to man. But that's the way you beat him, man. You send Kyler.
Yeah.
That's exactly
Brisker. Hey, Nomad, that's what I would do with Brisker. I would lean him to inside or further to the line of scrimmage and float Gordon to have, okay, Gordon, you got Jones wherever he goes on the field, and just get assignment football. You know what I'm saying? Keep it kind of simple and attack, with Brisker and send him on blitzes, things that he's really comfortable with.
And which the offense will return and probably take a deep shot or two because they feel like we got man to man. They may think they have an advantage, but that's when that's when offenses take shots down the field. When they start seeing action like we describing here. When you start getting nickels in the box and they got him spying on the running back, and then you pull another safety, another DB down into the box to control that. Now they're going to want it. They feel like they got one-on-ones with the tight end with somebody. They feel like they got one-on-one on the edge with the receivers. Then they'll start using bunch formations and shit like that. Try to jam up everything. That's like jamming the frequencies when you use bunch formations. So that everybody, like he said, assignment football means, okay, when they get in a bunch formation, and if somebody shifts out, do you know what the assignment is for you then? That kind of shit that happens on the football field. If you're a linebacker or you're a corner, whoever it is, man, you got to know what your assignment is if somebody shifts.
Oh, yeah, brothers and sisters. We've been waiting for it. And it's going to be on Monday Night Football. The Chicago Bears, the Minnesota Vikings, led by Quasi-Mano, who knows what the fuck his name is. But he's had 4 years of draft classes, but he has 2 years of draft picks on his roster. He has a young quarterback who basically had a redshirt year coming into the Lions' den facing a Dennis Allen defense. They may have the running backs, but we have some hungry hippos, not just the Hippolyte to cover the Aaron Joneses of the world, but the hungriness of a big dollar bill, the hungriness of a big Chris Williams, the hungriness of a big, look at the size of the head on that guy, Grady Jarrett, the hungriness of a big Von Dexter coming to stop that run. And beyond that, Adam Thielen, the just traded for, are we really considering him a threat? Are we really worried about the guy, Jordan Addison, who really needs to be in Alcoholics Anonymous and getting Ubers because he won't be there? Are we worried about JJ, who goes to the county goddamn fair in Minnesota and ghosts all of his fans like he's not walking around like a 6'3" black man with rainbow diamonds with a posse around him and is like, can we get a picture? No.
Do I got to mute your ass?
Are we worried about that?
Okay.
No, because it's time for football. And these Bears are going to go expose those Vikings on national television and start out the Big Ben, Big Johnson era with a W and give the national media something to talk about that is not purely negative. Let's fucking go. Bear down.
All right. We provide provisions for that level of crazy, but we love it. We love it over here, man. We love it. Hey, so any thoughts, kids? You've been too quiet. I don't like it because you think too much and you have some fucked up thoughts, probably. But what's your thoughts about this Vikings game? Let's start with Jordan.
Why do I have fucked up thoughts?
Because I know I know how you are, bro. I know you, my brother, man. I know you.
We ain't related, Doc. You know what I'm saying?
We
ain't related. You ain't got telepathy. You have no idea what's going on in my head. You would like to think you do, and you think everything I think is fucked up.
And you fall.
I think everything you think is fucked up too. So I'll just put it that way. Anyways, Brian for me, it goes like this. Brian Flores, once upon a time, fired my guy Ben Johnson, and I don't think he took very kindly to that, man. You know, as they would say in Half Baked. So, you know what I'm saying? My guy has had a little bit of a chip on his shoulders, and he gonna do like this come Monday night. He been doing it. It was just in a different color. It was in Honolulu blue before. He's been brushing that shoulder off in Honolulu blue. He's going to do it with navy blue and orange this time around, and it's going to look real decent. I'm also interested in my guy DA, and why DA is so interesting to me is that he's a little bit, everybody's like, oh, Brian Flores' defense is exotic. He got an exotic defense. Well, I know my guy DA can get a little exotic too, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brother. Oh.
I know he can get a little bit exotic too. So I kind of expect some of that exotic, wild, crazy defense has been thrown at a young Mr. Caleb Williams and this offensive line and these skilled players. I think some of that's been seen already. So I'm not as worried about the Minnesota Vikings as everybody else is, and the major reason why is we gonna get freaky deaky exotic too on JJ McCarthy's punk.
I wanna get freaky with you.
There you go. That's what it's gonna look like. I think there's gonna be some freaky deaky for JJ McCarthy, JJ McHandoff, right? So that's my 2 cents, man. I'm not looking past the Vikings, but the Vikings have a rookie at the helm, and he's got a little ways to go to figure out what it's like, what the speed of the NFL is. And I think Dennis Allen gonna show him.
Hey, I would say this, Alan. I think they've had great success. I won't say up the middle, like right up the gut, like running traps and power, all that kind of gap stuff that happens. I don't think they've had very much success doing that. But when it came to stretching this defense, when I mean by stretch, what do I mean by stretching? I mean when they run wide zone, when they go and kind of angle that line and hand that ball to the back, and that back has a choice of which track he wants to go down and cut back on. We've had a problem with that with Aaron Jones because he's so decisive. He gets up that hole. When he decides to take a track, he's up that hole. And usually, throughout history, he hasn't been taken down normally by the first tackle. First guy, he don't wrap his ass up, he's gonna get another 3, 4, 5, 6 yards on him. And that's been the problem. He's biting big, huge chunks out of us. And so if they can, like the first person that puts hands on him, can lasso him up and get him on the ground when they stretch, because I guarantee you they're going to be looking at the film and just like, they haven't been able to stop me on stretch plays. If you was to put true serum in Aaron Jones and say, hey, Aaron, what's your best play called in the huddle for you against the Chicago Bears? He's like, just stretch it left or right. I can find a hole and I'll get up that field. He has burned us. And they've got to be They got to be better than that.
Let me pick you up and down till
All right.
you say
Well,
I'm muting his ass. He threw.
yeah, I'm gonna say this with that too. That stretch play, we got Grady Jarrett now, which is he's really good against the run, especially up the middle. And I really believe that stretch run is gonna be kind of, slowed down a little bit. And then also my guy Big Bill, Juggernaut. I think with the combo of them two, I feel like that's going to help out our run defense. Dexter is gonna be, I think, better than last year. But the thing about Dexter that worries me sometimes, Nomad, he gets out his gap sometimes. His gap integrity. And that's one thing about that stretch run. You have to maintain your gap. If not, it's going to just take away everything because the linebackers are flowing with the football. And if you get out of your gap, that's two gaps that he's got a choice of, like you said. So gap control is the main thing with controlling Jones. And that's why I believe Billings is still going to play an integral part of that defense along with Grady, Jarrett. Grady Jarrett is just disruptive. He knows how to knife a guard. So if a guard is trying to get to his technique is trying to stretch zone, he's going to knife that and he's going to make a pile. That's the thing I love about Grady Jarrett watching him. If he don't get to the football, he's going to make some type of effort, a valiant effort, and keep that play cluttered. That's what a good job for a 3-tech is, and the 4-3 is to keep the middle of the field cluttered. You know what I'm saying?
Making an obstacle. This is the last thing I'll say before we pass it around and give some pleasantries before we go. On that defensive line, too many times when I'm describing what Aaron Jones has done to this defense over time, whether he was in Green Bay or whether he was in Minnesota, and too many times I saw on film that, you know how I can't describe it, but when you go engage with the blocker, it's like sometimes why do you going to meet that engagement because that's what you've been coached to do. But sometimes skirt that engagement and get the fuck around him. Don't let him get his hands on you in the first place. You're going to meet that engagement. And sometimes when that happens consistently, that tells me a motherfucker's tired anyway on the field.
Yeah.
He's just tired and he's just going to the block, and that's his excuse to not make a play on the ball. So you got to be, I need to see better block shedding. That's all I can say. I need
to be blocked.
Yeah. Don't be letting people block your ass just because you're tired and you want to get off the field. Get this motherfucker up off you. And I want to see more of that resistance with the Bears come week 1 against this team. That's all I can say. But that's my thoughts on this matchup between the Vikings and us. I'm going to pass it on to Canada, man. I'm going to throw this alley-oop and see what Canuck does on mute with this rock.
Well, are we shutting her down here? It looks like we're shutting her down on a Sunday. Feels a little bit early. We're
Why do you want to keep going? We can keep going.
I don't know. I'm just saying it feels a little early. It's 11:30 on the East Coast.
You want to keep rocking?
I'm sorry. Look, if you got something else to go, we can do something else.
I'm saying if you want to rock, we can rock. Triple R, I think Triple R needs a nap and some alone time or something.
This is what I will say. I will say that once that Micah Parsons situation came to fruition, Bears media kind of went hush hush. It was a little bit. I was expecting something to go down, maybe a free agency acquisition, perhaps a practice squad poaching, but not a whole lot went down after that, which again I find a little bit surprising. Don Burr pushing real hard about some wacky conversation about John Morton and
ain't
how
nobody heard of but the Detroit fan base.
Well, I'm not sure what the difference is, but like I'll just say this out loud and say, like, so Ben Johnson left your team on purpose. He chose to stay with your team last year. He chose to leave. He's now the head coach of the Chicago Bears, and so far hasn't played a damn game. Hasn't been played, but so far, I like this guy, and I hate to rub it in. I like, you know what I mean? Like, I like this dude. This dude looks.
No, did he?
Hey, you know, what are we rubbing in? Damn, Diddy in the oil, man. Damn.
Hey man, y'all better ignore that. That man down there is in a mood. Leave that man alone.
Well, no, what Don Burr's referring to is the Morton dude. They say that Ben Johnson invited him to be the OC or to be on the staff, not the OC specifically. But that also went on to say that Morton was more interested in a position where he would be able to make the offensive play calls, to whereas he joined the staff in any offensive capacity under Ben Johnson, he wasn't going to have that opportunity because Ben Johnson is making the play calls. So it's like, all right, so you got a dude that didn't want the job. All right, congratulations. You happy now?
He didn't want the job. You nailed it, Trip. He didn't want the job because Ben Johnson's an offensive genius. You're just a figurehead, right? Like, you're just a guy in a room who's answering to an offensive genius. And that's cool. So we decided to be the offensive genius for Dan Campbell. Guess what? He has no track record of being an offensive genius anywhere. So we're going to see what he does in Detroit. Odds are it won't be very much. I think he's just going to find out that Ben Johnson did some big things with Jared Goff, even though Jared Goff was throwing pick after pick after pick. I think you're also going to find out some stuff on the defense too. So there's lessons to be learned over there. And I love how Don keeps using the word begged. Ain't nobody begged nobody for nothing. He said, hey, man, would you like to come work here? And he said, nah, I want to call plays. And he said, you ain't calling plays. Said, okay, cool. I'll go to Detroit. And he said, fine. And that was the end of the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how the conversation went.
Hey, Alan,
please come to Chicago.
Hey, Alan, if you want to bounce, I don't blame you, man. But they want to hang out. We're going to talk some shit around here.
Okay, man. I appreciate you guys, man.
Hey, shout your podcast out before you go, man. Yeah. Let everybody know what you do.
Hey, man. Yeah, man. I'm in with CNG podcast, man. We follow the Bears and we talk good sports and stuff, man. Kind of like you guys. And I do a little bit of film stuff, and I try to do it on my YouTube page whenever I got time. But right now, man, I just mainly doing the podcast right now, man. I just like to, talk to the guys, man, and just keep the information flowing, man. That's pretty much what I do, man.
Hey, Alan, shout out to CNG Podcast and everybody over there that runs that thing and what they do. No Maniacs, please. Make sure you go over there and support what they do as well, man. That would be very, very nice of you all to make sure that you go over there and flower their podcast as well. Hit them up with some subscribes and grow their channel as well, man. We appreciate you, Alan. But I don't blame you if you want to get out of here. You got stuff to do. We're going to let these fellas talk a little shit, man. But we love having you on. Like I told you all the time, Alan, the door swings for you at all the time. Just hit me up in the email like you always do, and you're here.
Right. Yeah, I appreciate you, man, and your invite, man. And kids and Triple R, hey, man, I'll see y'all next time.
Right on. Nice having you. Looking forward to it.
Appreciate you.
All right. Bear down, baby. Right.
All right.
That's our guy, AK, man, hanging out with us. It was good to have him. Always gives some decent insight on the Bears and on football in general. So, again, shout out to the CNG podcast. Shout out to Alan. Thanks for coming through. But real talk, that of course, there's a report coming out of Detroit about how Ben Johnson didn't hire their OC right now before the season starts, just to potentially make Lions fans feel a little bit more happy because they see how butthurt their team is. Oh, look, they're using our plays in preseason. We don't like that. Those were our plays, Ben. Yeah, so, that's the feelings. But we'll leave those feelings in Detroit because we got your offensive coordinator, and he's a gangster, and I think we all feel that.
Do you have any kind of reference to what the fuck he was talking about, man?
Yes, I do.
What it looked like?
It looked exactly like what I paraphrased. So again, long story short, Ben Johnson reached out to some people to secure more or less what Triple R said to fill the offensive coordinator job. Eventually, that offensive coordinator job was filled by Declan Doyle. Declan Doyle, in this case, is a better choice because he can sort of sit and learn from Ben Johnson, who's done the job, because Ben was coming over here to do that OC role as well.
So right? He was just doing due diligence, and
of course, like anybody would do.
And Dan Campbell won that argument. He's like, "I want you here." Okay, I can't take the job, Ben. Dan is going to give me a promotion here. Well, I can give you a promotion here, but all right, I'm going to just take the one Dan got. And he stayed in Detroit. That's the end of the conversation, Don.
That's like he's saying his phone was blowing up on vacation. Well, yeah, if you want to offer somebody a job, you call them and their phone rings. If you're on vacation, who gives a shit whether you're on vacation or not? He's just calling to offer you a job. You don't want the job? That's fine. We found a guy who wanted the job. And I actually, like, at first I was like, who's Declan Doyle? But so far, I like Declan Doyle too. Declan Doyle is exactly what we need. And you know why he's what we need? Because we don't need a guy who's going to come into the OC role, call plays, learn the job and the scheme underneath Ben Johnson, and go and take an HC job next year. That's what we don't need. We need a guy who's going to come here and actually sit down for a minute, learn the job, learn the position, get comfortable with it before he decides to leave. So another way of looking at it, Don, is this guy's probably going to get his feet wet as your OC. If he has any success, he's out of there. Just like Ben was. Oh, man, it ain't good things in Detroit. Got to be the water.
I'm going to tell you, right? I keep trying to tell Don, I don't care how much you want to build up Johnny Morton. I don't care how much you want to build up Dan Campbell and the Detroit Lions. Throughout my time watching football, I've seen things happen in a certain way. It's a cycle. And I'm telling you right now, Don, y'all missed every opportunity. And that is 3 of them. I count 3 of them. That season when y'all had that, what, it was a 9-8 season. That was one opportunity. I think y'all got hot then. Y'all got hot. In these past couple of years, y'all just fucking choked. Y'all choked when it counted. Y'all got there and you choked when it counted. And I'm telling you, you only get a couple of those, bro. You only get a couple of those. That's the NFL that I know, that I've seen over the years. I don't think y'all transcending that shit.
Well, no, because right now they got to get over the hump with Mr. Goff. You know, they traded away their quarterback of the future, Hendon Hooker. And so that position is in a flux. Everybody else is kind of hurt. You know, in long term, they got a couple guys signed, but that's kind of tedious. So it's like, you know, that window that was open for Detroit while Ben Johnson was there the last few years is closing quickly.
It's closed.
Oh, damn. He said it's already closed.
Yeah.
Damn, Don Barr. I was giving you a little benefit of the doubt.
You know, hey, you guys can attest to this. How many years does it take really? Like, let's just say some team comes on the scene with some new version of some kind of offense that ain't nobody seen before. Usually, how long does the NFL take? And just by you guys' references of watching the NFL football, how long does it take before teams start figuring out what that is? Like some newfangled offense just comes on the scene and they just taking over the NFL. How long does that usually take before every coordinator in the league has a beat on? How long?
Shit, less than a month.
Yeah, you went crazy, but I'm gonna say a couple, 2-3 years.
Well, no, shit. By the time you see this offense is doing this, the good defensive coordinators can look at what they've done on film and negate that. Now, good offenses keep adding layers to that. Yeah. But you see an offense, for the first time that they play game one, by game 4, defensive coordinators know how to stop what you have done already, presented on tape.
I think FFG is right on point, right around 2 years, 3 years. That's what I've noticed. Like, I'm trying to think of an offense. I think when I look back at historical football, like classic football, I remember that run and shoot shit that was going on, I think, in Houston.
I can't remember.
No, I don't think that was Air Coryell. That's a whole different.
What was my man? The quarterback in Houston, the Warren Moon quarterback, Houston.
It was Warren Moon. I think might have been another quarterback before him, but he took it to a whole other level. But that shit, yeah, that shit was hot until it wasn't. This version of the whatever version of the West Coast offense that you're running, there's a team that's going to get a beat on it. And then the thing about the NFL is it's a copycat league. That team will watch, the other teams will watch this team get a beat on them and be like, okay, this is what we'll do then. They took the running back out and everything else didn't work. Oh, they took the tight end out and everything else didn't work. And all that kind of shit. It's, Don, I'm telling you guys, you finna be a disappointed motherfucker. I'm telling you, all year long.
And more so than normal.
Man, bro. I've seen this movie before, bro. It's a rerun. It's a rerun. Kids. Awfully quiet.
Yeah, I got nothing, man. I got nothing. We'll leave them with the Detroit love over there. He seems to love his team. I love my team, Don. But that's simple. End of the day, don't make no kind of difference what Ben offered John or what John turned down, because you lost. You lost a very talented offensive coordinator. He's now our head coach. And I think we desperately needed a head coach with brass nuts. No Diddy.
I will say this, man. This is something I put out, I think, one short today, and it was purposeful. And Ked, you remember me talking about this trips, you will too. If you notice, the very first couple of plays that Ben Johnson ran in the preseason, where were they to?
Where was they to?
Who were they to? Were they to tight ends or no? They ran the first couple of plays with Caleb Williams at quarterback.
Yeah.
The first team offense was out there. That's what I should have said when Caleb Williams was out there with the first team. So my bad for not saying that. When he put the first team out there with Caleb Williams and they started running offense, where did the first couple of plays go?
Yeah, first couple of plays went to Colston Loveland and Cole Kmet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the intention behind that is the reason why they drafted him. How do you convince a GM to see all of those fucking football players on that board at 10, at number 10, and have the wherewithal and the power in that room to get? I know for a fact that Ryan Poles probably wasn't on draft Colston Loveland. That's a fucking head coach's pick. He feels like this player was going to give him a chess advantage in this shit.
Well, who was sitting right next to Ryan Poles when he drafted him? Who was all hyped up, bouncing in his chair, like ready to explode? It was Ben Johnson. So Poles is sitting there, and Ben Johnson is in his ear, just hired him as head coach, paid him more than the McCaskies have ever paid a head coach. And he's saying, hey, Ryan Poles, Colston Loveland, thank you. And now, yes, please, or, whatever the pleasantry, Ryan Poles knew that Ben Johnson was calling that shot, because the guy that maybe Ryan Poles would have overruled him for was already gone, like maybe a Genty or somebody that went previous. But Ben Johnson was like, yes, Colston Loveland, I'm going to need him for this offense to make it, put up points per game. And it's not an indictment on Cole Kmet. It's just Cole Kmet is not Colston Loveland. And Ben Johnson wanted Colston Loveland.
one of those guys, Trips, one of those guys is probably going to get a linebacker on him, and one of those guys is going to get a DB on him. Who gets the linebacker? Who gets the DB?
Well, the defense can say, well, the linebacker go with Komet, the DB go with Loveland because of the speed factor, but they're both, big guys, so they're gonna dominate those sizes more often than not. But the thing with Ben Johnson is just because you, as the DB, call Loveland and the linebacker calls Komet, by the time they line up in motions, who knows who the hell the matchups will be. So, that's a pre-snap Caleb Williams read to make, based on the offense and the two tight ends on the field, despite what the defense thinks they're going to do.
Trips gets where I'm going. The identification and the recognition by the quarterback to use these two guys as your two. This is what you want to use to really disrupt whatever the defense has going. The defense is going to have to adjust to you. Once the defense realizes that you're going to use these two guys, I'm going to target these two guys right the fucking away and get on them. Get on that team. So, yeah, man, I think that we talking all this shit about who's who and what's what. I think that's probably the most important thing to think about when it comes to the Bears offense. This going into the first game, man. That's the tight ends. I think those guys will, if they don't game plan for them, they will have the game of games. Period.
Well, if you're Brian Flores, what are you basing your game plan on? What you saw in preseason and last year's entire Detroit film?
No, I'm going to base on what I saw in preseason. The first thing I saw Ben Johnson do was make sure that he put on film that these tight ends are live and they're a factor right away. And matter of fact, we're going to target them early and often. Brian Flores is going to read through that and say, you know what? All right, we do have to account for these tight ends, but we don't want to give up so much of what we want to do and what makes us us so that we overcompensate for these two effective tight ends. What he's going to say is, you know what? We're going to gamble and we're going to put guys in space and we're going to send the rush after them anyway because we don't think this quarterback can read what we got going on pre-snap. That's what he's going to do. And if Caleb can beat those blitzes and they got the right blitz beaters on, then he'll have to adjust mid-game, period.
Well, now let me go back to your question. And looking at this Vikings defense, they're having some issues with their secondary as well.
What's that?
So with the matchups of a Komet, of a Loveland, of DJ, Odunze, Burton, I don't think Minnesota has the horses to match up, with this offense on defense. You know what I mean?
I do. I'm waiting to see what Kez has got to say.
I don't know if they do or they don't. What I can say is I'm not sure if it matters if they have the horses. Brian Flores has a tendency to show that he's blitzing many more people than he actually is, and then pulls a couple of guys out. And the question is going to be, can Caleb read that or determine who he's pulling out or not? So when I really say that I don't think it matters much is because I have a feeling Ben Johnson is simply going to scheme around all that. If he can get a wide receiver open quickly, it's a problem because everybody's out of position when you're showing zero blitz and dropping two or three guys back into coverage. Everyone's out of position. All right. So if you can get a guy on a drag route real quick and hit that guy, hopefully those folks have gotten back into position to handle the drag, right? My guy's really good at scheming people open. And if it's, you're scheming a tight end for a quick hit and that guy's Colson Loveland and he can take it up the field, I'm happy with it. So I'm a lot of work for Caleb to do, man, and recognizing what's going on. I'm also going to say that he did very well towards the end of the 2 games versus Minnesota. We lost both those games, but he did very well in understanding what was happening and reading it. He came quite a long way. I was actually pretty impressed with his level of play. I was unfortunately completely unimpressed with the offensive line's level of play. So this is going to be a big test as to what our offensive line really looks like. Let's be real about this one. Big test. Did a lot of work on changing that offensive line and improving it and upgrading it. And, you know, in many cases, it has been upgraded and improved. In one particular case, it's more or less more of the same. But we're going to find out what all of that means in a week. And I think it's going to fare very well for us.
Well, now the first actual NFL game is Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to have that super thing draft, right?
Yeah, we got to do a little bit of drafting. So I got 2 drafts going on, and I'm trying to determine whether I do them both on Tuesday or if I do one midday on Wednesday or what. So we're in a little bit of debate, hot debate right now, but we'll get that sorted out. But we're drafting this week. If you, yeah.
I got a question. Are you doing Superflex on your channel, or are you doing it both here and your channel? Because you haven't told me anything.
I haven't told you that.
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't. I may be doing it on both channels. I haven't completely decided on this one. There's a reason why I might do it on both channels, or preferably, honestly, on mine. But we'll figure it out in the next day or 2.
There's nothing wrong with that, kids. I'll tell you after the show, but yeah, you got to communicate a little bit more, man. That kind of stuff. You tell me, and it's fine. You want to do it on your own channel? You do it on your own channel. It's your show. But you tell me so that I can declutter my brain and don't have to think about that kind of shit. I got other shit to think about too, you know, just like you do.
Very true, sir. Very true. Like I said,
I love you, man, but come on, man.
Things have been very much in flux. A lot of things going on, but I will get you the information you need as well as the rest of the world. But give me about 24 hours on it, because like I said, we're trying to figure out best timing for draft. I may do a full I
got a question for you.
I bet you do.
Oh, can I give you some more intro music?
If you'd like to.
I'd love to. Just to hype it up a little bit.
All right.
But
we'll look at something for sure.
All right. But here's the thing, Trips, about Brian Flores, kids. He dominates you in the 15-yard and in area. Down the field, he's weak. You can take shots at him, man, because he's gonna tear your ass up. He's like a college team when it comes to 15 yards and in the box. Your running back, he's got fast ass linebackers who are gonna chase him down, tackle him if you try to throw to him out the backfield. That kind of shit is null and void. He's gonna have people on his ass. He's got the kind of linebackers with the kind of flexibility that can do that to you. That's the thing about Brian Flores. You got to beat him. You got to prove to him that you can take it down the field on him and score. You got to hit him big down. He's weak in the middle of the field, just like every defense is, and he's weak down the sidelines. You got to take shots at him to back that motherfucker up. It's the only way you beat Brian Flores. 15 yards and in that box, he's going to dominate. So the quarterback has to be quick thinking and get that ball out of his hands in the middle of the field with one of those tight ends, or take it down the field to DJ Rome or somebody, Olamide, whoever, Luther Burden. Take it down the field and prove to him that you can get him off your ass. Because if you don't, he's going to be on your ass with the foot on the floor. Accelerated to the floor. That's just how he is. Why did everybody get quiet? But that must signal to me. Kids wanted me to continue to do this show. This is your fault, man. You wanted to continue.
Sorry, man. I'm in the chat just remembering, just reminding Don Burr of the team that he cheers for. You know what I'm saying? that team that had 0 wins for an entire season, or that team that has multiple players just up and quit. In some cases, in the middle of a football game, but like in other cases, at 30 years old, at the ripe young age. I know Trips thinks that's like 100, but at the ripe young age of 30, for a beloved running back as well as a fantastic wide receiver, just gone.
I'm out.
Yeah, I'm see ya.
Deuces, y'all.
Deuces.
But before we go deuces for the night, Sports Chicago Style. That's the name of the channel to make sure you are subscribed to. And also, you may have seen last week on Extra Sauce this past Wednesday, Chef Trips came in and did his thing for his monthly cooking segment, MFer in the Kitchen. His channel at Chef Trips, the actual channel, Shay Trips with Chef Trips. And then Trip Kundo. It's all a variation of Trip something and or other than Sports Chicago Style. That's where you can find the .com, the channel, the social medias, the Ko-fi, and the Patreon. So you want to support some cool content creation? We got the pre-games and the post-games coming up now that the season's here. We got all kinds of content over across a few different channels. Show some love. Sports Chicago Style. Please and motherfucking thank you.
And say hello to Lucretia when you get there, and big ass Agnes over there to the right.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, Agnes ain't all that big. She just old though.
She old. Well, Andrea over there, holding herself and touching herself.
Damn.
Right by the damn baby oil, and Trips over there enjoying it with 2 spiked drinks and shit.
Is that baby oil? Is that what that is on the counter?
That's a little baby oil. Makes everything all slidey and slippery.
Ew, damn. I didn't realize that all this time.
All that baby oil going on, man. That's why everybody happy. Tristan done diddied up the baby oil and everything, man.
You see, but this is a time that you definitely put plastic on the furniture. Because you don't want no stains, because you never know what the stains are.
That baby oil ain't gonna come out easy, bro.
You know what I mean? Baby or any other kind of stains. We just won't mention who or where they from. But yes, all that slide, and it's like you think you're getting away. You ain't getting away because you go slide right on back over here, and I'm gonna slide right on up in there.
I used that in the hotel room one time, and I got a like $135, $145 fine.
Yeah, they don't play that.
One time, man, I was just like, oh no.
Keep your damn baby oil at home, man.
Yeah, because you done stained up their shit.
What's wrong with you, man?
Oh,
and they look at that as not love making, but damage. And they charge you for the damage.
That ain't supposed to go in orifices anyway, man.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. That's not meant to go in people's orifices, man.
You use the O word.
Orifici. The orifici are not meant for us.
Number one, that's just not. It's for your outside. It's for your exterior, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they do. I'm just saying, man.
Well, that's what you use.
Tell that to P. Diddy.
Right? He find alternative uses and methods and means.
You know what I'm saying?
Nah, man. I got in trouble. Yeah, it was about $200, bro. It was about $200.
Yeah.
I might have been on the low end when I said $135.
$200 Diddy surcharge.
Mm-hmm. It's like, you know how much stuff we got to replace in this room now because of all this oil? Well, it won't be that much, but we're gonna charge you like it is.
And you know what's funny about that whole ordeal is somebody you really, really like. And then you meet variations of women that they come in different body types, man. This one was a little bit, a little bit parched. She's a little bit dry, man. So like, I like you and everything else about you is good, but
boy,
yeah, it was one of them. And that's how I ended up.
It'd be
that's the only situation where I ever attempted some shit like that, man. It was just like, all right, man, I'd rather slip and slide than be charred up on the sides. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I got in the shower that next day the first time, boy. Woo, man.
Well, you see, sometimes well, the sugar walls we want them to be like nice and corn syrupy, but sometimes they be like cotton candy.
Dry.
Yeah.
All
sweet nonetheless, but dry.
You don't even realize you're having such a good time until afterwards you take that shower and sides of your guy is all charred up and oh God, man, that burned.
Okay, it went from happy thoughts to like burning, so it's time to say goodnight.
Nah, skin gone. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, okay, stop. Now we talking about little man rash.
Skin gone. All right.
What the hell are you doing?
He got sandpaper going on.
I'm just saying, like, you might want to stop it. You might want to stop.
That's called something that's too big for the entry.
You're setting a fire in the bed. You're setting a fire. You know what I mean? Like, you need to stop it.
When you see smoke signals, that don't mean Kimosabe keep going.
You know what I'm saying? You need to stop and say, what are we doing here? This is why foreplay was invented. You know what I'm saying?
At exactly that reason. Point, hey, Kez, trust me, man. I'm an experienced veteran when it comes to this.
He coming in with no skin.
It's not like you just going in.
Hey, man, listen.
You just going in regardless.
You
for the next 3 days, it's like
You coming out worse,
man. I was just like, oh my God, hold on, man. It's gonna get better. Kept thinking it's gonna get better.
No, you need. That's what I'm saying. You need this. He's a seasoned veteran, my black ass. You need to stop.
Hey man,
you need to stop, man, and say what are we doing here?
You're 22 years old, man.
You see, you weren't no seasoned veteran at all.
Yeah, I was at that point. As a matter of fact,
you weren't no seasoned veteran at 22 years old.
I was.
He said, "What gray sandpaper you got?"
You setting a fire in there. You don't know that it's supposed to be a waterworks. It's supposed to be waterworks, not a fire.
Because I'm not like average men. I was a seasoned veteran.
Okay.
Well, part of being that seasoned veteran is knowing that moisture is your friend,
bro. It was in the heat of the moment.
Yeah, heat of
the moment.
You got rug burns and shit going on. All kinds of heat. All kinds of heat.
I was just like, holy shit, lady! Everything about this girl was just so fucking sexy. I mean, except
that means
that's what I'm saying. You need
long
to
enough
stop.
time addressing the foreplay situation.
Hey, you know what? She was, and when I told her it happened,
it smelled like burn rubber.
You didn't have to tell her. I'm sure she felt it.
No. Let me tell you a story. I called her afterwards, and I was just like, I told her the situation, and she started kind of crying, and I was just like, "What's wrong?" She's just like, "I didn't want." She said, "I'm sorry that happened to you. I think you're perfect for me. Everything about you. I love everything about you." And I was like, "I love everything about you." And she's just like, "I hope you don't turn your back on me because of that and all this."
Because I'm dry.
And I was just like, "Nah, I didn't." You know,
you dumped her in 15 minutes. You didn't call her after that, did you?
I mean, but what do you call it?
You probably took that shower and ran.
All you needed was just like a little thing of Vaseline lotion.
It was rough, man. I ain't gonna lie. I hung in there for a little while. I figured out a little cheat. I hung in there for a little while, but hey, I'll just say, you know, sometimes you're a little too much. Sometimes you're a little too much, man, for some people. You know,
love Lou.
That ain't what that was.
That's exactly what that was, bro. I'm telling you, that's exactly what that was.
Okay.
So that's what made it the Sahara Desert.
Long story short,
it's like you know right away.
The Sahara Desert, she don't like you, bro.
You know right away. Hey, kid, you know right away when. So that wasn't always the case, bro.
She don't like you. You made her dry.
Hey, if you shut up for a second,
it shouldn't always be the case. If she likes you, it ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna be Egypt.
Kids, let me
it's gonna be.
Kids, I don't know if you've ever encountered. I don't know if you've ever encountered, like right at the very beginning, it's just like, things ain't fitting. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, okay, you're gonna get there, you're gonna make it fit, and you're gonna get it to that point. But then when it got to that point, it still wasn't fitting, and it was too much for you. But it's too late now. You're already there. You're already there.
Well, I'm just saying, if it hurt, you might as well. You feel free to take a time out. You know what I mean?
If it don't fit, don't force it.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you can always take a time out and ask questions.
So you never chafed him ever?
Huh?
Well, but you learn not to do that again because it hurts.
Yeah, you ever chafed him?
I've been where you are, what you're describing. But
okay, so you chafed him.
I took a time out, is what all I'm saying.
How old were you when you chafed him?
Oh, damn it.
Okay. Well, now we're gonna get to the nitty-gritty. Be honest.
No. The answer to this question is like super young. I was probably like 17, 16.
Oh, yeah, okay. So what is you took a time out?
I took a time out because I was hurting myself. You know what I'm saying?
Ow, this is not.
You know what I'm saying? It was if I'm hurting myself, I'm taking a time out not just for her, but for me. For you know what I'm saying? That time out needed to be taken. I took the time out, did some things, and it was all right. It was great after. I had to do some things. You know what I'm saying?
Where is that Crisco?
You're just going.
No. I don't
canola oil, peanut oil, olive oil.
I don't roll like that anyway. The way you just described it physically, I don't roll like that unless.
What do you mean you don't? You don't roll like what?
I'm not a hammer, man.
He's a dry guy.
I'm a swivel.
You're a swivel.
I'm a swivel more than that.
I don't know what you kids be talking about nowadays, so I don't even know what that means.
Well, be quiet then with your drunk ass.
Shit, what grade sandpaper are you?
It don't matter if you're a hammer or swivel.
I don't know, man.
If you're swiveling in sandpaper, it's a problem. If you're hammering sandpaper, it's a problem.
What's funny about this conversation, bro? I seen my uncle at my sister's crib. He was there.
Where are we going here?
I'm gonna tell you. Because all right, I'm gonna tell you something you don't need to know.
Oh,
and
Lord.
so I'm gonna and we're gonna get up off this motherfucker after this.
That's what you
bro,
should
have. When I was in, I think I was 15, 16 years old, I had a creepy crawly situation beneath the waist, man. And I had to call my uncle, who is my brother, my older brother. So that's the role he played. So I had a creepy crawly situation in my crotch area. And I called him. And I was just like, man, what the he was just like, what? He said, you tell me what's going on. He was like, take your underwear off, man. Do you see this? Do you see that? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, he started laughing like a motherfucker at me. He cracked up laughing at me so fucking hard. And he told me what to go to the store and get. Anyway, I saw him today, and me and him haven't had that conversation since then. He'll crack a joke on me every now and again when he see me. But he'll just like,
he call you lobster?
He said a whole lot of other shit, but he didn't call me that. But yeah, that was my introduction into motherfucker. You gotta be more careful, man. So I saw him today. That's interesting. We having this conversation. I saw him today at my sister's house, and he brought that shit up. So I ain't scared. I had him
from Earl Crabman.
I come right behind that era of right before that era of everybody had to be shaven, right? Kids probably ain't that no more now either. He don't use wipes. He probably
what am I shaving for her? I've been with her way too long.
See,
she knows what's going on down there. I know what's going down there for her too. So we good.
It just feels better, bro. That's why.
Hey, man.
All righty.
All right, we're gonna get up on
man. I'm good, man. I'm good with respect to that, but you know, sometimes you just need to take a little bit of a timeout and check the situation when things are weird. You know, your brother gave you good advice that day. He told you to take a timeout, check the situation. You checked it, and you got help, and you're much, much better now, much less itchy, and that situation was rectified. And the other situation, very much the same. You can't just be,
Hey, kid, PSA, public service announcement.
Public service announcement.
I live to tell that story.
See, ask a friend; they'll help you out sometimes, man. If you don't know what's going on, ask a friend.
Phone a friend.
You get a lifeline. You know what I mean?
You motherfuckers are all kind of hidden.
Well, they'll tell you that, all right, go inside, reach up inside about 2 inches and find a little thing that feels like a knob.
Yeah,
play with that for a little bit until it's like very, very moist.
There's
and
a
then
man in the boat there somewhere. Yeah, man, find a man in the boat.
I tell you what, man. Triple R gave some pleasantries. You go ahead.
The little man in the boat.
I gotta get ready to get out of here.
He ain't fishing, bro.
Hey, look, give some pleasantries out.
He's like, shut this fucking show off already.
I gotta go, man.
All right, man. Yo, look, Don Burr, no love to you, bro. We stole your coach, and we love it, and you're gonna hate it for a whole season because, you know why? Because Matt Eberflus really sucked, and it's gonna result in a couple of additional wins for us this season. Whether those are against you, like that Thanksgiving game should have been, right? That was just a debacle. It was a great football game, except, hokey dokey coach fumbled the whole situation. We probably should have won that game. I'm pissed off because we're winning, coach, doing fumbly hokey dokey shit. So I'm super stoked. I'm ready for this season, and it begins in like next week. I'm ready to rock. I'm hype. I'm stoked about it. I give no damns about no Micah Parsons. See it in like week 13, whenever it is, much later in the season. In the meantime, we could well be a playoff team by then. So let's just be completely real about all that, and let's see how she goes, man. I'm happy. I'm stoked. I'm ready to watch some Chicago Bears football and watch what this team really will be, in my opinion, when we go for our Super Bowl run next season. This is the beginning.
Don Robbie is not lying. I do remember you constantly going on and on and on about ain't no way Ben Johnson ain't going to no Chicago. Ain't no way he's staying in Detroit. He loved Dan Campbell. I remember all that.
I remember that
Robbie
too.
Is not wrong, bro.
Robbie is actually bang on this one, no question. He knows exactly what Don been saying. But here we go. We got Ben, and he looks great. And like I'm saying, that's going to result in at least 3, if not 4 wins additional this season. So
real quick. Who are the kiddies playing week 1?
I think is it Green Bay? No.
Oh snap!
I don't know. To be honest with you.
Oh wait, so they get Green Bay right off rip?
Oh,
I'm not sure. I don't quote me.
Are y'all?
Who y'all playing? Don Burr. Green Bay next Sunday or
this is truly the real Don Burr. He says no food staff stays together. Wake up. He's trying to say no full staff.
No good staff. He's trying
to say no good staff. You're right.
And that's fine. And that's fine. This is exactly why he put together the staff that he did. Think about it. We have a failed head coach as our DC. He probably ain't going anywhere. He's an amazing defensive coordinator. Where does an amazing defensive coordinator go? They go to become a head coach. But he just failed at doing that twice. So I'm sorry he's going to be here for the long term. We've also got a super young wonderkind, as they say in Ted Lasso, as our OC. And he's just learning. So maybe it's Green Bay next week. So y'all get to kiss Micah Parsons first. Right up close. Well, it would be kind of funny if he just came in and did like what Khalil Mack did to them right off the rip to you guys. It'd be funny for me. I hate it in week 13 when we're a playoff team, but it'd be pretty funny.
Y'all ain't gonna lose no more fucking coaches, man. Trust me.
Go.
Y'all ain't gonna lose no more coaches. Y'all.
They don't have any more coaches to lose.
Well, he say that's why they ain't gonna lose no more.
They lost Aaron Glenn. He's in New York. So you guys got to figure out whether your offense is good and whether your defense is good, because ain't nobody over there anymore. So
ain't nobody.
I'm not sure the Lions
left to coach him.
Lions will beat Green Bay, though. He said,
I think they're gonna hang points on Detroit.
Well, I just hope that Micah Parsons makes Jared Goff eat turf a couple of times. That's all I got to say. I do hope you beat him. You know, I hate Green Bay much more than I hate the Lions. I just like messing with Lions fans, Don, and I can do it all day long, right? But yeah, Barry Sanders also quit when he was 32, didn't he?
I'm out.
Yeah. All right. Ravi, man, good to see you, dog. Good to see you coming back, man. Shout out to you. Big ups to you. The Scrolls, always awesome to have you, my dude. Don Burr, you know what it is. Absolutely zero love, except for FGB, though. You know what I mean? Like, the only place we can see eye to eye. FGB.
Don is right about Hank Fraley, though. Hank Fraley,
yeah?
he might get grabbed up.
Okay.
He's right about. I don't know about Scotty Montgomery. I know who he is, Don, but
Hank Fraley's their offensive line coach.
Yeah.
Look, it's a good thing all of your coaches didn't disappear, right? You got to have somebody back there. It's a good thing, and he's a very good O-line coach. You have a very good O-line. They're going to play very well. And one more time, FGB. You know what I'm saying? Very important. Who's out there? Crimson. Shout out to you, Crimson. Always good to have you with the wrench, doing the darn thing in the chat. The good minister, Charles Johnson, holding it down. Sorry, minister. We got a little flippant there with the lip. One cold boy's out there holding it down with us. You should be a no maniac. You too, Stephen Smith. You're all over the chat tonight. It was really good to have you, man. Representing. Thanks for coming through. TB17 came in just to drop a little bit of love to Tyson Bagent. And ain't nothing wrong with that. I love Tyson Bagent too. Bears Junkie, 55 Hall of Fame. Big ups to you, man. Shout out to you. Mad respect to AC Adam. Mad respect to Mr. Mayhem, who was out there. Bears fan for life. Thank you for coming through. Who else is out there? FFG, my homie, man. We got to get you back up on the show soon, man. Big ups to you. Shout outs to you. Who else was out there tonight? Oh, Daryl was with us tonight. Shout out to you, Daryl. Thanks for coming through, man. Big ups to Bear Ski Film. Shout out to Paul Ski, man. Mad love to you, sir. Who else? Anybody else I'm missing? There's got to be a ton of folks I'm missing. But, Dr. Earl came through, man. Big ups to Dr. Earl, man. He supports the channel. You guys should as well. Belizean Bear was with us tonight. Sophisticated Thoughts jumped in for a little bit. Gave us his 2 cents as well. We appreciate that. Definitely do. The Melon Smasher was with us. Trapper Keeper was holding it down in the chat as well. Paul Rodriguez was with us tonight. Big ups to you, Paul. Big ups to Jay Stiddy, man. Oh, Cornelius Squalls was with us. Number 2, no maniac, Cornelius Squalls.
You know who else was with us?
Who's with us, bro?
Baby Kid.
Hey, Baby Kids is with us, man.
Baby Kids.
Keep your ears and eyes peeled for the Baby Kids t-shirt and or hoodie coming at you real soon on the website once we launch. D Nice was with us tonight, man. Gary OZ holding it down, man. We had Nick Ulbrich with us tonight, and Laz came through. Big ups to you, Laz, man. Always good to have you checking out the show.
Young Trip was here.
Young Trip held it down with us. We also had 8K with us tonight. Big ups to 8K. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro. Shout outs to CNG Podcast as well. Illy Jones was out there in the chat. Big ups to Illy Jones.
That kid that was worried about you not having wiped was here.
I don't know why he worried about how I wipe my ass down. That's a really strange child. I think he deserves he should be looked at and investigated for mental illness. But shout out to Black Diamond, man. Petty Murphy is out there. Young Samuel's holding it down with the nostrils. He about to swallow a whole apple. Inhale
one
a
in each
whole
nostril.
We love you, Sam, man.
You know, inhale an apple in each nostril and spit out the seed.
And spit out the seeds. Shout out to Black Rain who came through as well. Anybody else? King Booker, man. Big ups to the man with the wrench. King Booker was in the chat holding it down with us tonight.
Hey, speaking of wrenches and speaking of Super No Maniacs, you said supporting the channel. Nomad, how do they support the channel?
I was getting there, but thank you for hyper speeding that. This is how you support the channel.
How?
Just like this.
Oh, like that.
Oh,
you become a member. You become a member. This is an easy and quick way that my guy Triple R triggered kids to who then took the baton and grabbed the scan and the code idea and took it and put it into action. This is it. Now you can just scan this, what's on the screen right now. Just take your phone, grab it up there. For all the people that want to become a member and can't quite get to the channel and don't know how to do it, now he made it easy for you all. Just put your phone to the screen, take a picture with your camera, and it'll take you right to the Nomad Network YouTube channel. And from there, you can take it and go to membership, and you press that button, and it'll take you from there. I know no more need to explain that. It's easy. So shout out to Triple R and Kids of Canuck for fixing this up, man. They set it up so that all you got to do is put your phone to the TV, take a picture, and it'll take you right to the channel. And then you become a member for either 99 cents and become a No Maniac. That's the first tier. 99 cents. We've made it easier than we've ever made it. All you got to do is hit that button, and for $1 a month, you can become a member of this channel. And our goal is to get at least half the people that subscribe to the channel, that support what we do. Just get half. I would love to see the entire block of us get memberships, man. Please grab it.
Man. Season's about to start. It's September 1st. So 99 cents can't go wrong. Hook yourself up, and we'll continue to make this type of awesome content for you guys. Get that QR with a little dinosaur right there in the bottom right. Snap a scan of that, and you'll be straight.
And what do you get for those memberships, and what do you get for becoming a member of the channel? What am I paying you guys to be a member of your channel for? This is why. You're going to get discounts on this merchandise. This right here is a Bears Run Shit bomber jacket. No, that's not red and white. That's orange and white. It's just basically neon orange. That's what I like. That's what I put on there. This is neon orange and white on a bomber jacket. This particular design is going to be on various pieces of merchandise, whether it be on slides, whether it be on sweatshirts, whether it be on t-shirts, it'll be on pants, it'll be on purses, anything you can think of, phones, anything, phone covers, all of that kind of stuff. You'll see this brand on everything. And you'll also see, this is another one, Believe in Monsters. This is going to be on every piece of merchandise you can find on the channel. And so we're in the process of making sure that these particular designs touch some of everything. So no matter where you are in your whatever your finances are, you'll be able to afford something in this channel. So please get those memberships. This will be our way of saying thank you for being supporters of what we do, whether it's on this channel at the Nomad Network, whether it's on Kids of Canuck, or whether it's on Sports Chicago Style. This will be our way of saying thank you for being just being our family. Let us say thank you. Grab the membership so we can say thank you, please. That's all we ask. Get that membership so we can tell you thank you. Get a discount on the merchandise. You'll be able to grab this particular design and many, many more new ones that are in there. The website is coming. I know we've been talking about it, but I guarantee you it'll be there before the season starts. I guarantee you that. So thank you all for being a part of what we do, but make sure you subscribe to everybody's channel, whether it be over here at this channel, whether it be over there at Sports Chicago Style, or whether it's over there at Kids of Canuck. The idea is to make sure that everybody gets flowers, man. Make sure everybody gets support. And we love you all, man. We appreciate you all so much. Let me make sure there ain't no new members before I get out of here. Do you see any green? I don't. So grab a membership, whether you are live on the show or whether the show is over. Go to the channel and get yourself a membership. Don't be talking to me about later on, hey, Nomad, how do I get a discount on this birthday? I just told you, motherfuckers. Grab a damn membership so you can get the discount now. We want to love on you, so let us love on you, man. So anybody got any more thoughts before we get ready to get up out of here? Because I'm going to give some pleasantries myself. Any other thoughts?
One last thought. Yeah. Shout out to the Superback Sean Sierra.
Shout out to Sean, but where did that come from?
Where did it come from? Sean sent me a little text on Friday, little good morning text. Somehow, right after that trade went down, we cursed up and down between the two of us, and I forgot how much I miss my brother. So big ups to the Superback, man.
We'll get the Superback on here. I would, you know what? Shout out to Sean. You're right, because I was supposed to go on his show. What was it? Thursday morning or something like that, but I was in the middle of something. And I knew it was going to take me pretty much all night. I'm a night owl, and I typically work. My best work comes in the middle of the night when you all are asleep. The best that ever comes out of me creatively comes through the night for me, and I know that. And I could not commit to doing the show. I wanted to do a show. I wanted to go in there and talk football with him because we have fun talking football together. But I couldn't commit because I knew I was going to have to do that shit and I was going to be up all night. And I told him that. And so I was just like, pencil me in, but don't ink me in. I'm going to try to get up and do your show. That's the creature I've become, man. I'm a creative person and I work late nights all the time. And the best work that I do comes out of me overnight. And I'm gonna make that up to Sean sometime this week. So expect me on the Superbacks channel, man. I'm gonna be on Sports Zone. Just I don't know what day, but I'm gonna make that up to him because I know he was kind of counting on me. So I'm gonna do that for him, man, because I love talking football with Sean. So shout out to the Superback, bro. Anything else, Trips, before we get out of here?
No, just big up to everybody. Appreciate the support and look forward to the Bears kicking it off. A scant 7 days and a few hours from now. Bear down, everybody. Let's fucking go.
Man, this is fun, man. I enjoyed having Alan on here, AK Alan Kennedy from CNG Podcast. Great football mind. When I say great football mind, I really, really relate to him and how he sees the game. He's a linebacker. I'm a DB. We see the game similarly. And, having those conversations here live on the channel about how to scheme and diagnose certain things is priceless, man. We're giving you guys priceless content talking about football, X's and O's. And I don't know, man, maybe don't everybody respect that, man. Sometimes I feel like that, man. And I had some crazy thoughts over the last few days about this content and this show, this channel, about what to do moving forward. Should I continue to keep doing this and pressing my foot to the ground on the accelerator on how much we can really provide this Bears football community with football content? Is it really worth it all the time? Is it worth all my time and effort? I've had these conversations about this. I could be doing other shit. We can be doing other shit, but we're here for you all. And I don't know how far. I know there's a ton of people that really, really respect it. And then we got some fair weather fans that don't really respect what we put down. They'd rather go to some channel and be just bullshitted all day and played with. You come here, you be respected, you be heard, and all that good shit. But we don't get the kind of love like that. Do we got to be commercial and run, ads all day and do commercials doing it? We got to do all that. Maybe that's what we got to do. I think I'm at that point, and I don't know how you guys feel, kids and Trips. I'm at the point where I'm ready to just bring in some sponsorship because I don't feel like we're going to get, and thank you to all the subscribers, all the No-Maniacs and Super No-Maniacs, especially the Super No-Maniacs, all the people that are members to the channel every single week, and that's every month rather. And you can count on them every month for their subscriptions, man. But everybody else, sometimes I wonder, man. We go hard, and we probably the best when it comes to football from top to bottom out here. But we don't get that love. And so what I'm going to do is make a decision within the next couple of days to reach out for some commercial support, because I can't keep coming out of my pocket to support this channel, and neither can anybody else. We got to get some people to help out with that. I've tried hard for a couple of years to do that on my own, to get people to support what we do, and to, thank again to the Super No Maniacs and No Maniacs that keep us going. But to get over the top and to keep paying the bills every month, you got to have a certain amount of support. And since we don't get it, I'm pretty much close to, we're going to do some corporate stuff, period. That's just the way it's going to be, man, because otherwise people won't respect it. Maybe you'll respect it more when you see more commercials and more ad reads and all that kind of corny ass shit that I hate. But maybe that's what we got to do to move the channel. So I just say thank you to the people that support us month in and month out, especially the Super No Maniacs and all the new No Maniacs that get that membership for $1.99. Thank you all. Keep on grabbing those subscriptions. We love you all. You're beautiful people. And I know you love football and the Bears as much as we do. I'm just trying to get more people to respect what we do. That's all I'm saying right here. So love you all. Appreciate you all. And you all have a great, holiday weekend. Hold on. You all have a great holiday weekend. If you haven't, hopefully tomorrow's a little bit better, but I want to leave you guys with these famous words. If you can think it and you can see it, there's no reason in the world why you cannot absolutely manifest it. Do not, and I repeat, do not be a prisoner of your own mind. But with that being said, we are